Welcome to another episode. Today's guest is one of the funniest, most consistent content creators on the internet today. He popped off during COVID's last lockdown and he amassed over 1.5 million followers across all social media platforms. He's an influencer, internet personality, comedian, father. There's nothing this man can't do. He's literally part of the YouTube furniture. The Moroccan content machine, Rashid, better known as Tedsthetics. Welcome to episode 9 of Health and Wealth.
Yes.
There you go.
That would be better.
You're warmed up now.
Yes.
That was like take 20, but yeah.
Mr. Khan changed my mind, brother.
That's it, man. Good to be here with the boys.
Bro, it's a pleasure, man.
Man, that's a sick intro.
Hard.
We'll go back and fix that.
No. Damn, man. If you know, like I'm doing a show or a podcast, I'm getting you to G that up.
Nah, that was
Moroccan content creation machine.
Bro, your name's Rashid.
Rashid, yeah, Rashid's my actual name, man.
Lucky I didn't say, hey, Teddy.
No,
You know
man.
what I mean?
Teddy or Rashid, bro. When I hear Rashid, I
Yeah.
feel like I'm in trouble.
No.
They use my government name, man. Yeah, they're using my govy, man.
I should have just said Teddy.
Bro, the only two people who use that is my parents and my gov.
No way.
My God.
Hey, and you work for Senelink, you funny guy.
Yeah, man. I went to Senelink for 2 years, bro.
I remember
No
that.
way.
Fuck, in my head.
Almost knocked himself
Yeah,
out,
he worked
man.
for Senelink, bro.
Yeah, man.
But tell
Worked
us
for
how it
Senelink
was
for 2
working
years.
for Senelink. Brother, Senelink in Sydney is like next level, brother.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, listen, man. I was in Melbourne.
Yeah.
I was working for Centrelink, but I was working with Stream C clients. So they're considered post-release prisoners or refugees, as in. So at the time,
Because you studied community services, right?
yeah, man. I mean, you boys do your research here. Well, okay. So yeah, I studied community services.
Yeah.
Hey, this guy's throwing me off.
Sorry,
I
bro.
was working with post-release prisoners, and at the time there was the Syrian war, and Australia was going to take a lot of refugees, so I was helping them. So on one end, I was working with post-release prisoners that were like I want to recommit and go back.
Yeah.
But I was trying to sort of show them, like, bro, go get a job, start small, you know, like build up. Bro, you go from making however much amount to making $20, $30 an hour. They're just like, bro, I don't want to be here.
Yeah.
We're not paying for bills and stuff like that.
100%.
And then you got refugees who've had nothing and they're getting Centrelink. So they're like, why should I work? So
Right.
essentially, man, I was just working
Yeah.
that machine with that type of sort of clientele that was coming through and sort of getting outcomes, I guess. So that's what they call them, outcomes. And bro, some of them I still see to this day, man. They've simulated into community and they're like, yeah, remember you got me the job at this factory.
Humbling, eh?
Yeah, of course, man. It's awesome to see. And
That's cracker, eh?
yeah, of course. And bro, I grew up in Glenroy, Broadmeadows. So for me, like, these are people that I'm most likely going to see around. And
Yeah.
essentially they're my people, but they're not my people at the same time. But if it means better for the betterment of the community, then why not?
Hey, Teddy, bro. Fucking, when I first seen you on my socials, I thought you were Libba.
I thought you were them as well.
I think it's
yeah,
exactly
what
what
I
thing about
thought.
the beard and the fade and that.
Yeah.
Because
So
that's
you're
what,
looking at 3 racist people right here stereotyping. And they probably thought I was from Sydney too.
No, yeah.
Yeah,
no, no.
No,
I
you
knew you from down Melbourne once.
Okay,
Adelaide.
where'd you
Yeah.
think I was from?
I knew you were from Melbourne as well.
I thought you
Yeah.
were from Sydney.
You're from, okay, sweet. So Melbourne,
Yeah,
two Melbourne, 1 Sydney. Everyone thinks I'm from Sydney and I'm Lebo, but I'm actually Moroccan.
Yeah, hard. And bro, that's what spun me out, bro. Because Moroccan, man, like you're probably the first. I don't know any Moroccans, bro. You're the first Moroccan that I know.
I've met, same.
You know
I've
what
met
I
like
mean?
1 or 2.
I'll tell you the funny story of how I ended up here. My grandfather applied, at the time, he applied to go to Canada or Australia. So to get a visa.
Before you
Yeah,
start, we were just talking about that before we got you.
Okay, far out. So I applied for Canada
Yeah.
or Australia. Canada, you got to go there, you got to pay for insurance.
Insurances are here. Sydney's
then-
for free, brother.
Yeah, exactly, man. He ended up in Toowoomba.
Yeah. Out of all places, bro, Toowoomba.
Toowoomba, bro. He
That's
ended up in
crazy.
Toowoomba, man.
Hey, and
I don't know how you could be born in Morocco and end up somewhere worse, bro.
Bro, crazy.
Yeah, ended up in Toowoomba.
Because you know where
Milking
Morocco
cows.
is. Bro, Morocco's at the top of Africa, eh?
Yeah,
Top of Africa, and then it's like pointed towards like Europe.
yeah.
So when I looked at it, I'm like, bro, like it's crazy. Like this is like, it's weird to me because Morocco to me is like a Spanish country. So automatic, no, it's not like a Spanish country. That's the idea I had of it. And I'm thinking Christian country, whatever. And then I found out you're Muslim, and I'm like, bro, what the fuck? Then I had to look into it, and that's how I found a bit about your story, bro.
Nice, man. Yeah, no.
So yeah, but is the majority Muslim?
Majority Muslim, and I think there's a small percentage of Jews.
Oh no,
A
way.
small
Jews, yeah.
percentage of Jews and a small percentage of Catholic, but that's obviously Spain's across the border, so
Yeah,
you're going to
yeah.
get that. And Jews, I think, like back, well, we're talking way back, yeah.
Yeah.
I think they just like housed some of them, and they've just stayed there
Yeah.
since. And yeah, the community is there, and it is what it is.
You know, with your grandfather coming over, bro, it's crazy. Do you reckon you would have turned out the way you did if your grandfather went to Canada, like as in like content creating and doing all that stuff?
I don't know, man, because bro, come to think of it, the only reason I'm making content is because I was a gun at media in high school.
Yeah.
That's the only reason. Like, you know, I was always like, right, this is something I'm good at. Just have a crack.
That was the only thing I couldn't find on him, the gun, the media thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything else I could find online, but I couldn't find the media.
No. So if to get my report cards, media, A+, like no worries, everything else, C minus, B maybe. Yeah. But yeah, I was just a gun at media, and yeah, man, took it on. If I ended up in Canada, probably not. Yeah. If I'm being completely honest, just because like the culture is different, and I think as well, like in America, they've got this like bit of delusion, like I can either like make it or like nah, there's no chance of me making it, Whilst in Australia, sort of the level, the playing ground, you kick back and like I don't know, well maybe like 10 years from now will be different, and 10 years ago was different, but like now I feel like at a point where you go tell someone you do a podcast, they're gonna turn around to you and they're gonna be like, yeah, I know what that means. Yeah. Whilst like 10 years ago, you tell someone like, yeah, I want to do a podcast, and like, bro, who's gonna listen to someone talk for 3 hours? So times have changed, and who knows, man? If I started too early, I probably would have shot myself in the foot. Whilst if I started, you know, like I feel like being in Australia and everything, but everything happens for a reason.
Everything happened just right for
destiny.
you.
Yeah, exactly, man. All my T's were crossed and all my I's were dotted.
Because you were doing social media before and then you stopped.
Yeah. So I did YouTube for about a year and a half, 2 years.
Oh, no way. How was the YouTube market for you?
YouTube was good, man. The money was good.
Yeah, of course.
But I think, like, bro, when you're 17, 18 and making videos, like, think about yourself when you were 17, 18. Do you know what you're doing?
Yeah, true.
Like, just normal life, So then you get thrown in this, like, YouTube world, and, like, people look at you as, like, oh, like, this guy's doing YouTube videos. Try explaining it to my parents, number one. They're like, right, you're not making videos, you're not being a clown for a living. And then number two as well, like no manager, no one to tell you. Who do you look up to even like tell you what to do? The only person that was doing that at the time was Superwog. And good luck reaching him. Good luck reaching him now. I'm almost 500,000 followers.
Hey, where are they from in Melbourne?
They're from here, man.
They're from
here? Yeah, man. They're half Greek, half Egyptian.
That's crazy, bro. I thought they were from Melbourne.
They're funny dudes, man.
I think I've seen an episode.
I grew up watching them. It's crazy.
Yeah, so they recorded, I think, their last thing in Melbourne.
Yeah, maybe. And I just assumed.
Imagine if you kept pressing through on that YouTube account.
No, it wouldn't turn out to be the way it did. I reckon it's just one of those things where, I guess, like you're in combat sports, it's just like difference between AMs and pros, or like when you're AMs, like you see someone who's crushing it in amateurs, and then they turn pro, and all of a sudden everything gets thrown out the window.
Yeah, I get it.
And vice versa, you get like the most average AM, and then they turn pro. And like you're like, fuck, man, this guy's decent. Maybe he was just in the wrong. Wrong.
Two totally different platforms.
Definitely, man. YouTube, as well, you know, like I know you've been smashing out the YouTube once upon a time. I don't know if you're still consistent with that, or
you mean the trolling from back in the day, or the new stuff?
No. Yeah, no. Like obviously,
I didn't even know I had a YouTube account back in the day. My manager told me back when I was doing music.
Yeah.
He goes, you're on YouTube, and I'm like, oh yeah, what's that?
So it was just one of those things.
Yeah, it's just one of those things.
Yeah, fair enough.
I just used to upload stupid videos, but anyway.
No, but bro, like at the end of the day, man, that's how it starts, and then you know it makes you a better person, if anything.
Straight after, I think it was the lockdown. I think that's when I first started seeing you. Towards the end of the lockdown, you started popping up because you were on Instagram first, right?
Yeah, I was on Instagram first.
And then when you transitioned over to TikTok, that's when you just blew.
Yeah, so I think with TikTok, so the way you see it is, bro, Instagram is like one of the, like we'll speak about before, Instagram is like legit, and TikTok is like anyone and everyone can discover you.
That's a coliseum, brother.
Exactly.
Shit that goes on.
Tell me how negative is that app, man?
It's a cesspool, bro. It's the biggest cesspool, man. And the problem is, bro, with Instagram, you can still link to someone and be like, oh yeah, this guy knows this one, so you say something stupid. You message their mate and be like, bro, what's your mate? So, what's he being an idiot? What's on TikTok, bro? It's like faceless. User 1286972.
Everyone's a user on there.
Exactly. Everyone's a user on there, bro, and they're just throwing like whatever they can.
Bro, the comment section is fucking horrific, bro.
Bro, like how
it's so bad, bro.
I post G-rated, PG-rated content, and the comment section is bad.
Comment section's R18, bro.
Yeah, exactly, man. Bro, and people are throwing like you know what it feels like. You know how it's talking about Coliseum. You know the medieval days they used to throw Rotten tomatoes. That's what I felt like. I'm like, bro, I'm getting 500,000 views, and you guys are the ones throwing Rotten tomatoes at me, man.
He's there breaking down the area and they're throwing bricks at you.
Yeah, exactly, man. No, even funnier, man. People are like, oh, wow, why don't you come into my area? I'm like, bro, there's only one of me.
Fuck me.
I'm like, man, I'll get there.
Imagine they were able to post gifts in the comments.
Gifts, photos.
Bro, be cooked.
Bro, the day photos are able to be posted on TikTok.
There's a reason they haven't, bro. There's a reason they haven't. Nah, we'd be cooked, bro.
Yeah.
Hey, Teddy, bro, Broad Meadows, that's where you grew up, yeah?
Yeah, so Glenroy.
Yeah, paint us a picture, bro, because apparently it's like the inner west of Sydney.
Pretty much, man. Like, bro, this is my second time ever coming to Bankstown. As in, like, this studio isn't in Bankstown, but where I'm staying is in Bankstown. And it's fairly similar, man. I think like Sydney is just a bit more built up. Like you guys have apartments and everything, whilst everything there's houses.
Yeah.
But obviously, Broady, man, you got the commission flats.
Yeah.
You know, that's no secret how commission flats are all over Australia.
Yeah.
So that's obviously the rough area, but it's obviously cleaned up over time.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, with social media
100%.
and people like sort of having better outcomes, I guess, and, you know, doing other things with their life. And then you've got like, I guess, just the crazy part about like Glenroy and Broadmeadow is, I guess, similar to Western Sydney in the sense of you got all these people from different cultures.
Multicultural.
You've got Islanders, you've got Arabs, you've got some Asians, you've got you know, like just people from all over the world, subcontinent, Afghan, maybe not Afghan, but Pakistani, Indian, all in the one place, and everyone is like similar.
Yeah.
But they're still so different at the same time, whether we're talking culturally, religiously, and then you just get like all of that in the one place, and bro, it's just a cocktail, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So you could end up anyway, and that's why like it's funny you say, you know, if you went Canada, would it have been different?
Yeah,
I don't know. Probably, man.
Totally different.
It's one of the
Because
best
you're not going to
things,
get
bro.
like, the multiculturalism that we have in Australia.
It's a melting
is not
pot,
normal.
bro.
Yeah, it's a melting pot.
Yeah.
And people, you know, like you guys use Spotify.
Oh,
You know, sometimes they give you the daily mix, and you're like, bro,
How the fuck?
how, like for me, I came back from Saudi. I'm like, how have I got Sheikh Sudais and Tupac in the same playlist, bro? You know what I mean? And that's what it feels like. It's like the daily mix, and they're just churning playlists out. And I happen to be one of the playlists that they've churned out. And it's the same with you boys, you know? You know, depending on where you grew up, it's just one of those things where, you know, like you scratch the surface of every culture, so you know enough to sort of be able to sort of relate to everyone, but also not be so deep in that you don't know everyone's full customs and everything. It's like, even though I'm Moroccan, being Moroccan means like I'm from Africa. I played soccer with Somalis, but they didn't acknowledge me as an African. They see me as an Arab. But I go to school with Lebos, and they're like, no, man, you're not Arab. You're African.
In the
They
middle.
don't speak Arabic like us.
Yeah.
So like I was like always like stuck in between the two of like I don't even know what I am.
And that play on your mental a bit?
A little bit, man. I think it's just one of those things that, like when you're an outsider, you know, like everyone when you go to school, you want to belong, you know, especially if you've got friendships out of convenience as well and everything. And then I play soccer with the Somali boys, and like I'm still mates with them, with some of them till this day. Great guys and everything, but you know, you're young and, you know, like look at them and look at me, right? Skin color, culture difference. You know, they're obviously like very rowdy. It's like me being Moroccan, being like, you know, a family of like 4 or 5 of us. You know, we just stay to ourselves. So it was very different. And then I'd hang around with the Lebos at school, and they'll be like, yeah, look, say this in Arabic. And I'll say it in Arabic. They're like, no, that's not Arabic. So we're like the Jamaicans of the Arab world. Like everyone, we understand everyone, but no one understands us. They're like, what the hell is this guy talking about, bro? So I played my mental on a bit in the sense of like, I really had no sense of belonging, but that's also my superpower in the sense of, cool, I can make content for everyone.
Black sheep.
Like the Islander boys understood me, you know, like the Africans understood me, the Arabs understood me. It's like, cool, I can reach everyone. That's why people are like, oh, you know, you don't really make like TikTok type of content. And I'm like, because I'm not aiming for that Arabs from the area of Western Sydney and everything. Exactly. Right, it doesn't feel like an insult.
Bro. I walk around and like, I've seen you on TikTok. I'm on TikTok. Fuck you.
Right, it's
Just spit in the face.
of course, man. So it's like, you know, instead of just being like, oh, I know you, your name is this, or you do this podcast, don't you? Or you do this video. TikTok. You don't even say my name anymore. Oh, you're the guy from TikTok.
For me, it's really offensive because all my TikTok shit is just me roasting and taking the piss. So I'm like,
but it's funny because that's the stuff that pops off on TikTok.
It's so
All
bad,
the toxic
bro.
shit, eh?
Of course.
They glamorize the worst shit, bro.
Definitely, man.
It's fucking annoying, man.
That's what Western society is cool.
Sorry, there was 4 years. I remember you were born here, obviously, and there was 4 years you went back to Morocco.
Yes.
Was there a reason why you went back? Like,
immigrant dream, brother.
No
you come
way.
to Australia, you make money,
and then go back.
you go back,
You
live
make
like
you're essentially like, not shit on everyone, though. You're almost like, I made it. You
shit
got
on
down on
niggas.
me. Exactly. I probably was like 7 or 8 at the time.
Oh,
7.
no. Yeah.
So I was like primary school.
Yeah.
So I did prep there. So I did prep here, half of grade 1, and then they took me there and they're like, well, you don't know any Arabic, you don't know any French, back down to prep.
Fuck.
Yeah, man. So I did prep to grade 3, 4 there, and then came back. Problem is, you make Australian money and you go there, you're not making Australian money there. So eventually the Australian money is going to run out. And I think also like the opportunity cost of like, bro, when you have kids, like I don't know, any of you boys have kids, it's like one of those things where you see that, you know, if they get sick.
Hard.
Like in Morocco, if you get sick, you're cooked if you don't have money.
No way.
Yeah, of course, man, you're cooked. Or public health, you know, you go there, you're sharing the same
Bad public health
blades
systems.
and the same everything with everyone, yeah? So it's like obviously like very poor. And then you've got schooling, education, and just opportunities, right? Like you said, would I be a content creator if I stayed in Morocco? Yeah, that's an even better question.
100%.
You know, like I wouldn't be exposed to that, right? And I think like it came to a point where my dad is probably like, nah, it's probably better if we jet back to Australia. And the good thing about Australia, I can leave tonight, and let's say my Instagram gets deleted and everything, I can start again. And I think there was the same thing with them. They're like, bro, we'll come back, we'll start again. It is what it is.
Oh, so you all went back as a family?
Yeah, went there as a family, and we came back. My dad stayed there to sort of just tie up any loose ends that he had, and then followed.
I thought you got sent, because you know us as Islanders, you know when we don't listen to our parents, we get sent back home. Like, hey mate, you're gonna go back home, because we still get hit in our country.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's happening now, if they're still getting beaten in schools and that, but back
in
then,
Morocco it's still.
Yeah, back then,
Same.
And a lot of the guys that were like delinquents here, they'll go back, get belted, come back, changed men, bro. Like,
really?
Yeah, bro. Like,
did it actually work?
Yeah, it did, bro. So many
for majority or for all of them?
For some people, it does.
Yeah, for majority it did. Yeah, bro. And that's what I thought. I just thought, bro.
No. Like we went there with family. No. I wish I was running amok, man. I was a quiet kid. I grew up playing video games. Bit of a class clown in high school.
Yeah.
But nothing too severe. Like I probably had 3 detentions my whole high school, man.
Yeah.
Like just stayed to myself, and I think being Moroccan, I never really belonged to any group. So there was like any time they felt like they had to fight with another school or anything, I'm like, yeah, man, it's Lebos versus the Chiefs. I'm
Moroccan,
I'm Jamaican. You got beef with the Islanders at home, bro. They keep me out of this.
Yeah, hard.
You know, so which is a good thing. And like I was always like focused on my work and my craft and like whatever I was doing at the time. I think I'm blessed with. My parents raised me with like, bro, whatever you do, you just respect it and do it the best that you can. So, bro, as soon as I got a job at 15, I was at Macca's in Brody. I rocked up every day and I treated it like I was a doctor. Like, you know, go in, do the best that I can, have a laugh with the boys, but still do the best job that I can, clock out and go. So, you know, like I was never a troublemaker, you know, like I'm blessed, you know, like, so, you know, maybe it's guidance by God or, you know, just my destiny to stay out of all of that.
Hard work,
but super easily could have fallen into it, man, at the same time, which is unfortunate.
So before Tedsthetics, I wanted to ask, who was Rashid? You know what I mean? Like, what was your identity before everything?
So, man, we'll take it back. I'll take you back before YouTube and I'll take you back before Instagram.
Yeah.
So with YouTube, wow, man, I was just a kid who played video games, Like I never really, a kid who played video games and I watched a lot of YouTube. So every time I'd watch YouTube, I'm like, man, all these American guys are making videos. Wouldn't it be awesome to make videos, Like, bro, how many times you see like actors in movies, you're like, bro, I could do this. Or probably the same thing with rap. You're like, man, this guy's a bum from the area, man. He's making this music and he's popping off. You're like, bro, I can rap better than this guy. Same thing with movies and everything. Same thing with YouTube. And I'm just like, man, these guys in America, like, you know, they're doing it well. And I was playing video games. So people like in video games, I used to play World of Warcraft. So I used to connect with a lot of Americans. They'd be like, yeah, check out this video, check out that video. So I was always in the loop with it and sort of knew what's coming because the lag effect is 2 years to Australia. So whatever's popping off. So like now, say how streaming is huge in America. Give it 2-3 years, that's what's going to be big here. Same thing with everything, right? And I saw YouTube and I'm like, all right, cool. You know, like they say with surfers, you know, don't sort of catch the wave as it's like already up. You got to see it coming and then ride it, you know, as it's coming up. So I sort of saw that wave and I went up to my 2 best mates and I'm like, bro, let's make some YouTube videos. And they're like, oh, bro, what if people in the comment section start roasting us? And I'm like, yeah, and like, it's just, you know, there's just comments like, bro, well, you're going to let a comment on the internet. So I was already wired beforehand to sort of be like, it's normal. Yeah, exactly. Right? People are from America getting roasted and they're doing all right. So I'm sure I'll be all right. And they just turn around and think. And then I was sort of like a bit, I don't know, man, maybe they're right. I caught the train back home.
Did it cut you up a bit when they said that?
Yeah, of course, because I'm like, right, like, these are my boys. Like, these guys are jumping in a fight for me. I can't jump in front of a camera. Burn job. 100%, man. It was a burn job. And I was like, all right, cool. Maybe I should just play video games. And mind you, there was no gaming streaming, no gaming YouTube or anything back then. Or if it was like very infancy. It was just, I probably just starting out and it was still like a foreign concept. And it just burned me, man. And I'm just like, you know what, I'll just get back to playing video games. And I think after 2 weeks, I'm like, no, I got to do this. I don't know why. And then I just got started on it. And then before Instagram, man, honestly, like I stopped YouTube. I traveled. I studied community services. Did different jobs along the way, worked in the fitness industry, worked in community services, got married at the time, had kids, and lockdowns happened. Now, I've always been social media savvy, but never like never wanted to be in front of the camera, especially after the YouTube stint. I was like, yeah, it's done and dusted. Like, I'm an unk now, you know. You're an OG. You're an OG. Like, come on, bro. You got kids gonna jump in front of the camera. So I was like, what's the next best thing? I'm a gun at media. I'm a good script writer. You know, you boys, you know, like start a channel together. I'll write up all the content. You boys will jump in front of the camera, do it, pay me my cut.
Because you wanted to be a ghostwriter, that's right.
Yeah, just a ghostwriter. Like, you know, I'm really good at that. I know I'm good at that.
Bro,
You know, like if you boys turn around to me and be like, yeah, like we're starting our YouTube channel, like fresh, cool. This is what you need to do. This is how you should do it. You play this dynamic, you play that dynamic. You know, today you play the dumb cunt, you play the funny cunt, and vice versa. So I always understood the dynamics. And then turned around to a couple of the boys, not the same boys, completely different boys. And I just said, no. I shouldn't have listened. But anyways, one of the boys just turned around to me. They're like, bro, all right, you can write a script, you can sell it to these content creators or influencers. Because for me, I could have written it for girls and boys. I didn't care. I was happy to play both roles as long as, if you're a ghostwriter, I don't care. Pay me my money, take care. And he's like, but you've never made videos. Like, well, you haven't made videos since YouTube. How are you going to prove what you're writing is going to work? Like, why should the boys trust you? Why should these girls trust you? And I'm like,
full sandbagging.
Yeah, no. Like half of it was that. Half of it was like, man, he's actually got a point. Yeah, like there's no proof of concept. What do I do? And it's like, you know, make some videos and so at least you've got a portfolio to show them. And then I just started making videos and haven't stopped since. Yeah, like essentially that's what happened.
Where'd the name come from?
Tedsthetics, man. I was in the fitness industry. Naturally managed to work in the gym. Yeah, man. I used to be a manager at Derrimut Gym.
Yeah, put the correlation together.
So aesthetics, Teddy, the Tedsthetics. I competed in men's physique, natural IMBA at the time. IMBA, yeah. Did men's physique. Honestly, I just made the Instagram.
He knows his shit.
Yeah. So IMBA back in the day. Now it's ICN. Like obviously that's changing over time and everything. Yeah, man. And obviously I was working in the gym. The boys that I sort of like were close with got locked up. They're like going on to do different things. Some of them just like, we don't want to work. We don't want to degenerate behavior. A couple of them got locked up. And then I was just like, you know, I just work in the gym, work night shift on purpose, so I don't see any of the boys. Stay out of trouble.
Which Derrimut Gym, by the way?
I worked at Airport West, right next to the airport, man, at the time.
Bro, Derrimut Gym, man, because bro, it's one of the biggest gyms I've ever been to, bro.
Yeah, Caroline Springs is the biggest gym in the Southern Hemisphere.
I went to Caroline first, and I went to, I think it was one close to Sunshine. Bro, these warehouses
Braybrook?
are massive. It's where next to
Woolies? Or now it's KFL?
it's like a Asian.
Yeah, KFL.
Yeah,
Asian
KFL,
area,
yeah.
Braybrook.
Yeah.
So you got, yeah, man.
And they're 24-hour gym, mate.
24-hour gym, they're pumping, $200 a year memberships.
Yeah.
So super accessible
Cheap,
and everything.
bro.
And you know how it is when you're in the fitness industry.
Yeah.
The more people you speak to, the more you're like, oh, I'll help you here, I'll help you there. You know, a lot of the older boys are like, don't touch gear. You know, just train, eat well. You're still young.
Yeah.
You know, your receptors still fresh. Like,
Hard,
bro, just
bro,
eat, train hard. You know, just go like, you know, train hard, eat well. Yes, it's going to cost a bit more to like, you know, buy quality cut meats, but you know, just be good. Don't be idiots like us, man. You're just going to jump on gear. Trust me, you're going to regret it. Or else you're going to be on TRT for the rest of your life. So like, at least they get me that guy. Exactly. Yeah, of course. And they're just like, you know, don't cook yourself. Just train naturally and everything. The more, you know, the more you get into it, I'm like, all right, cool. I want to get shredded. I got shredded. And then I'm like, a couple of the boys are like, we're competing, and I'm like, oh, you know, I want to do that too. So I gave it a crack. And then I made the Instagram. So this is before Instagram fitness influencers. I made it to just document my journey.
Bro, that's crazy. Bro. As an influencer first, like,
fitness. Like fitness before these, like, you know.
What year was this?
Man, you're taking me back, man. You're talking 2016, 2017, probably.
Early days, bro.
Yeah, man. Like, and this is what I mean with, like, obviously we'll get into it later down, but I've always sort of like, I knew like, okay, this is coming up, Or like if I say something for you boys, I'll be like, hey, this is coming up. Probably get into it, talk about it and everything. So I've always had that in the back of my mind. But as a natural, obviously you can only get so far on the internet. And number two, man, it's just like, bro, the fitness industry is like the brokest, good looking industry there is, bro.
I swear that's the best way to put it.
Yeah, I swear to God.
Bro, not everything that glitters is gold.
Oh,
yeah?
Bars.
No, really. Like obviously you work in the fitness industry. You know exactly what I'm talking about, bro. Like, bro, people used to come up to me at Derrimut at the front counter. They're like, bro, you work here, you're on night shift 5 days a week, you don't take a day off. How are you still single? You see all these girls and everything. I'm like, I'm still single because I still see these girls here. I don't know what they're like. I see the boys here. and I know what they're like.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
bro, the gym just attracts a lot, like 90%, 80 to 90% of very insecure people.
You don't have to go to the club anymore. You just
Bro,
go
it's
to
a
the fucking
nightclub.
gym.
Yeah,
They're all there.
These days, yeah, of course, man. Tripods, everything, man.
Bro,
But
bad.
so, you know, like you're
You want to
talking
root, just go to the gym.
yeah, man. Yeah, exactly, man. And it's all changed. So back then, that was the industry that I was in, and that's sort of how Tedsthetics started.
Yeah, yeah.
And then, yeah, man. Then obviously I stopped. Like once I got married, I stopped. And then lockdown happened. No, funny story. I was gonna compete one more time.
Yeah.
I was gonna do an IFBB show. Messaged the coach. I started working with him. Everything was sweet. About 10 weeks of dieting. He got me to a point where I was sweet. Called him. I'm like, sweet. Like, I want to jump on.
Yeah.
Like, what's the next step? He's like, sweet. Healthy dosage. This is what you should do. Test. This is the dosage and everything. Get what you need to get. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and tell you where to get it, but get what you need to get and let me know once you do. I got the money. I was ready to go. The next day, they announced lockdowns. They closed down all the gyms.
Burn job.
So I didn't even end up getting like any gear or anything, not jumping on anything. I took that money, I took my family to Noosa, came back, and then they did a complete lockdown of Australia.
That was around the same time you got laid off, eh?
Yeah, laid off in the sense of like, we don't know what's happening, everything is closing.
I think everyone got laid
Yeah,
off.
I think
Yeah, essentially,
I
man.
think that's where you decide. You made the conscious decision to veer straight into content creation, eh? Like full time.
So I did, so during lockdown, I still worked from home, but I went back to Centrelink type of work because everyone was up for the COVID payments. So they're like, we need people. And I'm like, done, I'll jump in.
Experience and
I had the experience anyway, so I was like, yeah, sweet, jump in. It was work from home, laptop, sweet, everything was easy, get paid. Zoom meeting every morning, Zoom meeting at 3 p.m. Everything in between. It was like second nature. I just did it without. It's like you throwing a jab. Like you don't even think about it. You just do it just up, and it's just like
So we'd gone on autopilot for so long. Did you get like brain fog or anything like that?
Yeah, I did, but I think the whole like conversation at the same time, right? Because you're talking to all these clients,
True.
and they're all going through the same thing.
Yeah.
Right, so lockdown is this. Like, so I was a therapist pretty much for like a year, and I think that's
It's the same thing as a PT, but
of course. Because some people don't even want results.
Bro,
Some
they
people
just
just want to
want
talk
to-
to you.
yeah,
They just want
badly.
community. Yeah,
like a
like how many
barbershop,
times people like will come up to you, ask you about like fighting advice.
They just want to talk.
Yeah, they just want to talk about that. No, you think they're really going to work on their jab?
yeah,
You think they're going to work on
And you
their
tell
thing?
them exactly what to do to help them,
Yeah.
bro.
No, they just want a
They just wanna
conversation.
do it.
How many people probably want to create content? I'm like, bro, what's the best camera you can get?
I cop that all the time, bro. It's
You
fun.
think the camera's going to save you? Probably
Yeah,
not.
it's hard.
But yeah, and then during lockdown, that's what I did, man. Around the same time I got laid off, and then
Was there a specific moment that made you go, I can do this full time? Like, was there a specific turning point or?
my first paycheck from social media, I'm like, this is something special. I remember it was around September before the gyms opened up. So the gyms opened up in November. This was September, and we're sort of like running on the last legs. And I was making videos. Nothing was coming out of it. I was just making videos. Followings were growing, but that's about it. DMs every now and then. Bro, you're so funny. That's it. You know, just comments, and they don't pay the bills. And then Chemist Warehouse reached out, and they're like, man, like the morale of our staff isn't the best. We want you to make a video talking about Chemist Warehouse, roasting Chemist Warehouse in a funny way.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, done. And then they're like,
That's
how
how
much?
you know you're making noise.
Yeah,
bro.
I'm like, they're like, how much? And I was thinking, how much do I charge these people?
That's the hard part.
Yeah. And then it was the weekend, so they did they sent me an email, and I'm like, how much do I charge? Then it was the weekend, and then that Friday, I remember I received my insurance and Regio at the same time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, altogether, I think it was like $1,000 because we had like the COVID, well, like whatever relief they had at the time or anything like that. And I just turned around to them and I'm just like, yeah, give me $1,000 for the videos. They're like, if you can give it to us within 24 hours, we'll give you 1.5. I'm like, done.
Heck.
And then I ended up literally hopping into the car, making the video. I sent it to them. They're like, this is hilarious. Thank you so much. And then I'm like, all right, cool. If a company can reach out cold
It's hard.
and just sort of like pay you, like, all right, cool, I can scale this and do something like that. And then it got to a point where I was working at the gym and I realized that it's either I put the 40 hours I put in the gym, I could put into the videos. And it could probably grow to something even bigger. And I'm like, you know what, I'll just take that risk. And my partner at the time, she backed me. And she's like, yeah, go ahead, you know, give it a crack.
Wow.
And I had a crack. And then like the first 6 weeks to 2 months, the hardest 2 months of my life, man. It's just like,
No,
because,
it would've
I didn't realize that invoices take 30 days to get paid.
Oh, bro.
So I was spending money,
Yeah,
thinking
yeah.
like, yeah, I'm gonna invoice
gonna
these
get it
people.
back,
They're
yeah.
gonna pay me in like 2-3 days.
Yeah, yeah.
So I was spending the money, not working, making videos, and then
Fuck,
invoicing
man.
and get paid till 30, 60 days later.
No way.
Yeah, so
Trying-
like I
trying
had
the
to learn
90-day
that like
invoices is always
really
crazy.
quick.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and lucky I had like a bit of savings. And when I say a bit of savings, I had 10 grand.
Yeah.
You know, but
Yeah,
like after rent, after bills and everything,
Hard, bro,
within
especially
like 2
fucking
months
COVID,
with a
yeah.
family, it's gone like this. So yeah, and then that's when I sort of
Scary,
did the
bro.
leap.
Was it hard? Was it hard to talk to your missus about that?
Yeah, at the time, man, it was tough, but like, bro, she had belief in me,
Yeah, yeah.
and I think she's like, I think it's different when you see things sort of popping off.
Yeah, yeah.
So you see this bubbling up, I
Had a
see
bit
what
of
it's
a verbal,
like.
yeah.
Yeah, of course, man. It'll be like you work in a job and then you've got 10 clients and you tell your mate, you know what, I'm actually probably gonna take this PT thing
Yeah,
full
yeah.
time.
Hard.
Oh, well, you got 10 clients, why can't you get 20?
Yeah, yeah.
And
Did
then
you
build
ever
up
feel
from
like a pressure from family members or anything to follow a more traditional path?
there. Yes and no.
Okay.
So yes, in the sense of like at the start, that conversation was like, bro, you're a dad. You've got kids.
Yeah, hard.
You're doing that. What, you're gonna jump on TikTok? You're gonna jump on Instagram? The other conversation.
Some people just can't see
yeah,
it.
no,
Teddy,
bro,
you
they
know?
can't hack it.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
they just can't compute it, and it's okay, bro. Like I learned not to take it personally at
Yeah.
all. And then and then you got man, it's fun. Like now you're asking me these questions, brought back a lot of memories. So you got that side, and then you got the side that you did it on YouTube. What, you think you can do it again? And I'm like, bro, if anything, that's proof I should be able to do it.
Hard.
If I can do it,
Yeah.
I'm a dumb cunt, bro. I deserve to flop.
That would've just
I
pissed you off,
deserve to
eh?
flop. Excuse my language. I deserve to flop and rot.
Jeez,
And
you
you know
are,
what?
babe.
Have those videos up there, or you guys to laugh at me.
Yeah, yeah.
And then also like, what, you're gonna leave your job to make videos?
Yeah.
How do you explain to someone that's moved to Australia that works a traditional job
To give
that you can make
opportunities.
videos
And
and
make
a
money.
brand will pay you? You can do stand-up comedy, and
Yeah,
people buy tickets to come out and watch you.
It's a foreign language to them,
Right?
man.
They
Yeah.
can't compute it, man. Bro, and I'm not gonna lie, man. Until like probably like the last 10 months, my dad's only come around to it, man.
Yeah.
Before that, it
No
was
way.
just, yeah, man.
Still to this.
3 years of making videos, man. Only like the past year, I'll say. We'll safely say a year.
Yeah.
He's only come around to be like, all right,
Yeah.
you're right.
Remember, because they got that traditional way of
yeah,
thinking.
old school,
like,
bro.
yeah.
What's
Traditional way of
go,
thinking.
They
work
can't
hard,
see
yeah.
outside
Yeah, of
anything
course.
they've-
Like,
they've
but
seen.
anything creative, like they can't compute. Like, right, if you're gonna do fitness, they're like, what do you mean someone's gonna pay you to train them? There's people,
Same shit I
that's
said,
exactly
bro.
yeah, you know what I
Said,
mean? They're gonna pay you to train them, but they still see you as that kid that leaves the towel on the floor, leaves the dirty undies on the
They'll
floor.
never see you any other way.
Yeah, no, any other
Especially
way.
brothers.
So that's exactly. So sometimes like you got to stack up that evidence to be like, here it is, and then
Bro,
be like, all right, you know what? I'm wrong. You're right. They'll never say that.
Nah,
but-
nah.
yeah.
Honestly, I got very lucky, bro, because my mum's very business minded. She's very business orientated. So anytime I mention anything to her, she's always dropping the knowledge of, oh yeah, you should do it this way, you should do it that way. She's never really doubted me.
That's a
It's a
blessing, man.
blessing, bro.
Hard.
That's a blessing, hard,
Blessing,
man.
bro.
It's a
Plenty
Plenty
blessing.
of other people did, but my mum always didn't. Like, she understood.
That's
She's been in
awesome,
corporate
man.
for how many years as
Oh,
well, so
beautiful.
she'd get it, you know.
So she's been primed in that environment. Whilst
Yeah.
I feel like my dad was a chef. My mum was working in disability.
Okay.
So for them,
For them, nah, no
excuse me,
chance.
that's like, yeah, it's just like you work 9, finish at 4, 5 o'clock,
Yeah, yeah.
come home, make dinner, go to sleep,
Yep.
watch Home and Away. That's it. That's
Yeah.
life.
Home
Yeah?
and Away.
Yeah. Watch Neighbours, watch Home and Away, go to
Back to the
sleep.
rafters.
and that's
Oh,
it.
yeah,
Back to
we're,
the
we're from that
rafters.
time, mate.
Yeah,
Neighbours is crazy, though. That's insane, bro.
That's it, man. Get the vocals down, boys.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, no,
Hard,
you know,
hard.
it was that's all they can see. So for me to turn around and be like, I'm gonna make videos and work whenever I want, and
Yeah, yeah.
you know, like me and Mo were talking about this earlier. Like that's why I manage myself. I want to be able to say yes to certain
Yeah,
things. I want to
no
be able to
to
say no
certain
to
things,
certain
yeah.
things. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that freedom is worth more than money, man.
Yeah.
I'd rather make the same amount that I make at the gym doing
Yeah.
what I do
Yeah.
than being at the gym and sort of being like
Yeah.
phone call, oh, we got this, oh,
hard.
punch on at the gym. there's
That's
this,
what I
there's that.
admire about you, because you're connected directly to your audience.
It's true, yeah, you got your finger
Yeah.
on the pulse, bro. A lot of people
man.
don't. They're so disconnected from reality that the agency tells me to do this, I do that.
Yeah, no, man. Like if there's, man, I'm connected with the audience, number one, so thank you for that pointer. And number two, man, I just do what I want to do in the sense of like I feel like there's value. I seen you boys doing a good thing. I'm like, you know what? If I'm in, bro, these guys give me PTSD with that.
That's the worst thing, bro.
I'm
gonna wake up.
Bro, it's crazy. My phone's on silent, on do not disturb, and it still buzzes. It's crazy.
That's
Bro, I
the
was
birth
thinking-
control
I
alarm,
was
bro.
thinking he was at my door at 5. Get up,
Oh,
it's training
bro.
time.
Oh, man, I was thinking
Sorry,
like a
bro.
birth control alarm or something, bro. Like, gotta take the pill, man, on time.
Oh, fucking hell. No more, no
Real
more.
bad cat. He knows, this man knows, brother.
Anyways, boys, anyways. What we talking about?
Straight off track, eh, like.
You forgot the cameras
No,
were
no, no,
here.
it's all good. What was I
Hey,
saying?
Ted, I'll ask
No,
you a
no,
quick-
you were talking about connecting with your audience.
Yeah,
Yeah,
connecting
yeah.
with the audience and bro, and like there are things that, for me, I'd rather be doing things that, like, we look at this podcast from bro your first episode to the last episode I watched, world of a difference, and it's like, bro, why can't I water that plant and help the boys?
Yeah,
jump in.
fucking oath.
Bro, we've spoken a million times or we've never met.
Yeah.
Like, what a shame.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, obviously, we know each other through mutuals. What a shame that we haven't connected.
True, eh?
So why not, like, set up this episode
it
and, like,
happen,
bro, like, when I message him, I'm coming up to Sydney.
Yeah.
Let's tee up the
Yeah,
episode.
yeah.
It's a shame to not be able to do that.
Yeah.
But then again, that's me.
Yeah.
Because that gives you guys an opportunity to reach a whole new audience.
Bro,
And
100%.
vice versa for me to reach a whole new audience as well. Some people might see it as like, oh, but they're just starting. And it's like, yeah, they're just starting. But what if when they reach 100K,
Yeah, yeah.
who was on their 5th or 6th or 7th
Very
episode?
I knew exactly the way your mentality was because I watched a few of your interviews.
Yeah.
And I'm like, he's very switched on, this guy.
Yeah, very switched
Thanks,
on.
Because you
I
help all the
appreciate it.
up and coming
Very-
platforms and you always stay relevant that
Yeah,
way.
yeah.
Also, I
Yeah.
feel like a lot of people have, like, we spoke about this earlier, they see themselves too much. Like, nah, I've got this and I've got that. I'm not going to go entertain. But you always pick up the...
Humble.
No job
the-
too small. That's the one
Yeah.
thing I learned working at Macca's. No job too small, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I
Because
fuck
if
with
once the moment you start thinking like, oh, I'm too small, that's when you get, you
yeah.
get whacked and you realize you get humbled, man.
Reality check.
Yeah, and that's
Boom.
why, like, even like with the videos I make, like my videographer was recording me and it's like, oh, bro, like these suburb videos, like you're killing it. And I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm like, all it takes is one person to come up and do those videos,
Yeah, yeah.
10% better. People
then
start
that's
watching
it.
their video,
Hard.
and I'm in the mud.
Just keep lifting
I
it,
can't, I can't sit there and think like, oh, yeah, I'm the man.
Yeah, yeah.
Someone
Yeah.
can come and
Marcus
all of a sudden you're
Aurelius.
not the man. So,
100%.
that's the difference between good and great.
Hey, Teddy, how hard was it to stay grounded, bro, with everyone around you just being so negative? You know what I mean? Because, bro, because as Australians, we always talk about this, bro, tall poppy syndrome, bro. Everyone's so negative, like the way you were talking about your parents, like what you're going to make videos, this and that. And even like my mates now that I'm doing what I'm doing, bro, they're like, bro, like they can't see like ahead of like tomorrow, the day after that, you know what I mean? Of course. Fuck, now my phone's going off.
Man, you boys,
Make another pill on
you
time.
boys on, man.
Another pill.
Our phones
But
blow
yeah,
up.
bro, like, but yeah, like I want, like if you can explain it to us, because there would have been times where Ted, like you would have been, like, on your knuckles, like fuck, bro, like in tough times, you know what I mean, where you start to believe all the noise, you know what I mean, like
Of course, man. I think that like the first demon you have to fight is yourself,
yeah,
right? It's your own thoughts where you sit there, you're like,
yeah,
man, am I even able to do this?
yeah,
Can I keep doing it? But there's been so many times where I'm like, bro, I think this is it. Like,
Yeah.
That's it, man. I think this is the end of videos and everything.
Mm.
So fighting that as one battle,
Yeah.
and that's just like I said, just stacking the evidence to make sure, like, no, you can do this. Post one more video, like you said, the
Yeah, yeah.
lottery.
The lottery thing,
The
yeah,
lottery
it's my
thing is a
favorite
great
analogy.
analogy, right? Just keep posting that video. Like your channel will turn to shit when you stop posting.
yeah, yeah,
As long as you're posting,
yeah,
there's a small audience there or a big
Someone will
audience.
pick it,
People
yeah.
gravitate towards it.
Yeah.
And you never know, you could just be catching people on the wrong day
Yeah,
with
yeah.
your content, right?
Yeah.
And then there's obviously people from the outside sort of
Yeah.
talking and saying like, oh, you're a dad, or you do this.
Yeah.
Or, bro, man, you've got it good, man. You work in the second biggest gym in
Yeah.
Australia. Like, why are you going to go make videos? Why are you going to do this? And staying grounded in that is just actually like enjoying and respecting the craft,
yeah,
right? Because I can't give you my vision, right? I can see and tell you how much I love videos,
yeah,
how much I love making videos, how much I love putting it together and doing everything. But is it, like, you're not going to have that same love for it, just
Yeah.
like the way you train.
yeah,
You can probably wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning and train and love it
Yeah,
and
yeah.
everything and train clients and
Yeah,
all
yeah.
sweet. I can't do that. And you can't share that love
Yeah,
with
yeah.
me. So I think also like making peace with the fact that, bro, some of these people will just never understand where you're coming from,
yeah.
and also never understand that, bro, there are different avenues to do things
Yeah,
and
yeah.
creatively express yourself.
That's
But I'll
mad.
say some people that,
Because it's more so the people that you care about that affects you more. You know what I mean?
yeah, definitely, man. And I think you learn to realize that sometimes, their perception of you isn't what
Yeah.
you see yourself.
Hard.
And going back to the
Yeah, yeah.
parenting, they
Yeah.
still see you as the kid who's can barely like make scrap together eggs and
Yeah.
toast in the morning. So like, oh, this guy's gonna run a business.
Yeah, yeah.
This is the same guy that's asking me to wash his undies, gonna run a business, right?
You should see all the marks on there. You still-
Definitely, man. They got the GT marks on there. And, this guy's gonna run a business, so they can't see past that. And I think sometimes just pushing yourself to make sure you got to push past that, and also realize that, you know what, if you listen to them, chances are, man, you're proving them right anyway.
Yeah, hard.
So, you know, prove yourself
mad,
right instead of proving them right.
It's mad, boys.
Sorry, don't try to prove them wrong. Prove yourself right.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, if you're the man,
Positive thinking.
go. Yeah, exactly. Prove yourself right. Put that chip on your shoulder and get going, man. Because like I could have very easily turned to my mate at the start and be like, bro, shut up, man. I can write scripts.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what, man? I'm gonna prove myself right. I'm not gonna prove you wrong.
Hard.
Yeah.
I'm gonna prove myself right and show you. And here we are.
Here we are.
Have you ever had
Here we are.
burnout? Creator burnout?
Or sometimes I have it, but very hints of it. And my cure to that is just do something I don't usually do, man.
So sort of break it up.
Switch off, yeah, man. Like I know, like this sounds very thing, but like for me, I live a quality life at home. I don't live like a life where, you know, like I hate my life at home or anything like that. So sometimes just going and doing something that is either like higher quality or lesser quality than what I do, and it makes me like super appreciative of it.
Humbling.
And sometimes you got to learn to rest and not quit. Yeah, sometimes it's not about, you know, like you're burning out. You can very easily be like, bro, stuff this, throw in the towel and never do it again.
Yeah.
Or you could just rest and it's okay, man. If like,
Adequate
bro, I
rest.
went Saudi, didn't make videos for 3 weeks. I got a hair transplant, didn't make a video for like a month. Like, but people come and go. And if, bro, if you're good at what you do, you can always bounce back and regain that momentum. That's a muscle memory.
Yeah.
So, you know, just learn to rest, not quit.
This is more of a technical question, but you're obviously very big on multiple platforms. Do you ever pick and choose what content goes where or what content's more tailored to what platform? Or do you just post the same thing across them all?
I'll post the same thing across all three. Nowadays, I prioritize Facebook because Facebook pays.
Yeah.
So if a content does really well on Facebook,
Yeah, I didn't know that. He told me earlier, bro. Facebook pays you.
Facebook pays you for stories, and they pay you for content.
Crazy.
So you'd be more active on Facebook.
If a video does well on Facebook, no, sorry, I'll make the video, keeping in mind my audience on Facebook. I don't care about Instagram and TikTok.
You still got a massive following on Facebook, 124,000 followers. Right?
Yeah, we're bumped it up to 153 now, man.
Oh,
yeah, man. So that's what I mean. Like I've thrown my focus in that.
Congratulations,
and, you know,
bro.
Thank you very much, man. We've crossed that sort of bridge, and now sort of like just trying to, you know, how do you reach a broader audience?
That's mad, bro.
At the end of the day, man, with me, the only way I can make money is by touring and doing stand-up comedy shows. Who are going to buy it? Not the kids on TikTok.
Yeah.
The adults on Facebook.
Yeah.
So I'm prioritizing
the big boys.
And
the crowd.
And as fucked up as it sounds, our own kind aren't going to buy the tickets as well. It's
No, our own kind.
Yeah.
No, they don't buy tickets. They're like, cuz, what, you're not going to hook up the tickets?
Yeah. Brother.
How common is that, eh?
Bro, what do you mean, man?
Expect
They're
free
always,
shit.
always looking for a bargain.
But
No.
they don't even like your video.
Yeah.
They don't respond to your story. They only
I cop
respond
that.
if you put up something messed up. They're like, bro, what happened?
Yeah.
That's it. They're just
'Cause they're
nosy.
preying on your
they're-
downfall.
They didn't even support you
100%.
before, but they see you doing big things. They're like, oh, bro, I've always been a fan. Give me tickets.
Or they wait till like a huge milestone. So at the start, it's like, yep. And then you hit a huge milestone. Cars, bro, I knew it. Guys, I knew it, bro. And I'm like, brother, I've posted 100 videos. You haven't liked any of them. You haven't commented. You haven't shared it on your story.
Yeah.
Bro, share it on your story and say, fuck this guy.
Yeah.
Just share it, man.
Yeah.
You know how much I
But,
cop that, bro? So much, bro. I cop that all the time. And then as soon as, let's say, the first episode of the podcast came out, I had all these people coming in, oh, congratulations, this, that, whatever. All I did was make a video, but to them, because they saw, obviously, this bloke's got a, you know, he's been around for a while doing big things, so they seen me with him, and they all
affiliation.
jumped on it, bro, because they wanted that sort of, you know how many people asked me to meet him? And I'm like, bro, you fucking for real? Like, leave me alone,
I
bro.
don't know why I've been inactive for years, but I just came back and done this podcast stuff recently.
Yeah, but bro,
He's always telling me, I'm like, yeah.
bro, people
But I think,
might,
and I think as well, like with yourself, and like this is my observation. Yeah, you can take offense or be like, you know, like thank me for it or whatever. But I think as well, like you, like in the sense of like you're a phenom, bro. Like you're seen as like, is this guy even real?
Yeah.
Man, like
It's true.
You know what I mean?
true,
Like
yeah.
you're not, you know, you don't just hang around. You know, like a lot of these TikTokers and people who chase clout and everything, they're hanging around. They're like, bro, I want to be seen. I want to be big.
Yeah.
You just go about your life. You remind me of
under the radar.
something that Andrew Boger said to me. He's like, bro, I just pull out my phone, I say what's on my mind, and that's it. I forget about it. I've got my own life to live.
always do
It
that.
feels like, that's the vibe I get from his videos.
100%.
Yeah, in the sense of like, bro, I just recorded this on the fly and whatever. But bro, there are some people that like, man, I can't see this guy around. This guy's like a ghost, bro.
Yeah.
So like in their mind, they've sort of, you know, they've like put you on this pedestal of like, this guy's like on a Marvel roster. Like we're only gonna see him like, if we go to his spot, if we find him on like at the right gym at the right time. So I think that's why like there's that sort of complex to you.
It's a mistake.
The era of mystery.
Yeah, of course. And I think like especially like the younger generation, like they'll see someone like you and they'll be like, like this guy is probably doing or done what I want to do. So maybe just a conversation with him will probably be the thing that gets me right. And you know what, man? Maybe this is the vessel that does that for you. Doing a podcast and everything. And no matter how inactive you are, you can always come back. And that's the beauty about the internet, bro.
It's always there.
Never forgets, bro.
It's always there and it never forgets. And if anything, people will love you and respect you more if you come back and go harder. Especially if you're trying to do something that adds value. People always come around and, like, get behind it. The older you get.
Hey, Teddy, how nerve-wracking was it from when you had to transition from making videos to comedy, to stand-up comedy? Was there a major difference?
A huge difference, bro. So, bro, I'll rate my first stand-up tour like a 7 out of 10, if I'm being completely honest, man. 7 out of 10, and that's me being generous.
How did you adapt to the crowd?
I couldn't.
Yeah?
Bro, when you go from talking to an iPhone like this, talking into a
How
microphone,
weird is it?
and it's live feedback.
Because
usually I make a video, edit it, put it up, and I'll check every 10, 15 minutes. Like now I posted a video just before you boys arrived. In the back of my mind, I'm like, oh yeah, I'll check the comments later and I'll suss out like what the vibe is around it. Live is like live feedback. So if you're not funny,
instant,
you know immediately. And so it was like really nerve-wracking. I used to get super anxious like half an hour in the lead up to the shows. And then at night I just couldn't sleep, man. Yeah, and then I think the one thing that a lot of people don't talk about, or maybe do talk about but don't talk about, is like the entertainment industry is riddled with alcohol and drugs.
100%.
bro.
That's the only way they can cope. And then there's me, who's just raw dogging the stage for the first time.
Raw dogging, the emphasis on raw dogging.
Teddy, but you can sort of understand why they do that, right? Because the nerves are so...
Yeah, the nerves are just so high and like you can't sleep like after it or anything.
Self-medicating to deal with it.
Definitely, self-medicating to deal with it. And bro, if you're a bit drunk or you're a bit high,
it's easier.
You can carry on like an idiot and not feel like an idiot. Whilst me, like I'll say a joke, like I said a joke in Brisbane, Perth, Adelaide, and Gold Coast, people were on the floor laughing. Came to Sydney and Melbourne, it was politically incorrect. And it was a joke. Listen, man, it was a joke about homelessness.
No way.
So it wasn't something like, like something where it's like, oh my God, like, I can't believe it'd say anything like that. I made a joke about homelessness in those cities, bro. People on the floor laughing, bro. In Sydney and Melbourne, it was like so now imagine you said this like story, led up to a joke, hit the punchline, then
everyone's quiet.
You've got 1,000 people and probably only like 50 people are laughing. And when there's only 50 people laughing, it goes, ha!
And it dies straight away.
Yeah, it dies right away. And then...
What are you meant to say?
What are you meant to say, right? You seize up.
Yeah.
So like just like dealing, like handling scenarios like that is sort of like the punches that I had to roll with during the tour. And then, so the live feedback was super hard to adjust to. But then again, just like anything in life, man, you go back to the drawing board. All right, cool. How can I get better? Let me do more mic work, and that's how the suburb videos sort of.
I feel like you're constantly worrying about how you're going to be received, eh?
Yeah, that, and I think as well, like it's two different mediums. Like, bro, how many people are going to watch this podcast and be like, bro, I didn't know Teddy was so chill and he's not yelling and he's not. Man, maybe he's scared of the boys. And it's like, no, man, like, bro, 99% of my day, I'm chill. Yeah, exactly. But they'll see like 60-second clip and they'll think like I'm that, like energetic all day. Yeah, exactly. And I think same thing with the stand-up comedy. I went in with this like slightly mellow tone. Like started off mellow, high, then mellowed out. And I think like people were sort of a bit like, oh, I didn't realize this was it. Like we expected like the video high energy, high tempo, and it's like you don't realize how much energy it takes
bro.
to like get to that level.
Bro, I've seen people collapse after a shoot.
Yeah, my mouth was drying up. Just like issues like that didn't even
happens when you're nervous.
I think that, and I think just definitely nervous now that I think about it, but also certain things that I didn't realize that they'll play a role, like eating chili the night before. My voice was gone the next day.
Wow.
So it's things like that, or having dairy. It just flush me up, like it'll just mess me up.
Changes your hormones up or whatever.
Changes hormones. Like I'll wake up in a shit mood and then everything is shit about the day. Everything's going smooth, but you're just not in the mood. So just finding things like that. And then like people talk about breath work and all of that stuff and everything. So everyone finds something, but for me it's just like, I learned more about myself. And if anything, bro, it just made me a better content creator. Maybe become a content creator, but now become a better content creator or make me a better comedian. And then it'll just go back and forth now. So hopefully we'll see.
Was it always your plan to do comedy? Like, you know what I mean? Because you started off doing the videos, obviously YouTube and all of that. And because they say like comedy is like an old man's game. You know
it is
I mean?
old, it is, that's 100% true. But as someone who makes entertaining content, what do I do to make money other than brand deals?
Oh, yeah, true.
How do I give that live experience to people.
Yeah.
The only way stand-up, that's the only vehicle I can think of, is stand-up comedy.
In the
And,
States and all that,
there's-
you get paid from TikTok, you get paid from this, you get paid from that, but here you don't get
Exactly.
shit.
Here you don't get nothing. So what's the next thing? People want to meet you.
Yeah.
People want to see you. How's the best way to sort of give them an experience and charge them for it? Is stand-up comedy. I love making people laugh. It's it's the best feeling on earth, man. You know how many people, I had a woman at my show come up to me, she's like, during my whole chemotherapy, she's in remission, during my whole chemotherapy, so I was just watching your videos cracking up.
That's mad.
And I'm like, bro, when you can, exactly, what a buzz. You know, to
Wow.
get that type of feedback, you're like, bro, I'm just posting videos on the internet thinking I'm just being an idiot, having a laugh. But
Changing
someone,
lives, bro.
Moments like that are priceless, bro.
exactly, man. And I'm not gonna get that experience because they're not gonna DM me.
Yeah.
They're like, oh yeah, I was dying from cancer, and you know,
I just
like
thought I
you
wrote
made
your
me laugh.
message and
Exactly. It was like, she come up to me, I think she was like borderline crying, and I was just like, bro,
Different when
fuck,
it's
this is
live, huh?
different, different when it's live.
Ups and
So
downs,
everything,
shit.
so there's that, and just packaging a live experience.
Yeah.
And like I said, it turned out like I turned the negative into a positive. It made me a better content creator, and it made me be able to go out in public and do those videos instead of just sitting in my car without caring what what the boys are looking at or anything like that. I just pull up the microphone, lay down a crack a joke. Cool, let's move on to the next thing.
But and as well, Teddy, your content, bro, it's like, what I find funny about it is like it's real relatable.
Yeah.
And even if it's not relatable, it's funny to like
Very
laugh at it.
accurate as
You know
well.
what I mean? Like
It's always very
A
accurate.
lot of
very.
research, boys.
Yeah,
A
like,
lot of
yeah,
research.
Is there a process that you had to it? Like,
Yeah, of course, man. I think the best type of content is always relatable.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'll even go back even further. So educational, inspirational, and entertaining. They're the three best content that usually do well.
Yeah.
Yeah? Educational, inspirational, and entertainment, comedic
Yeah.
effect. And what happens is, like with comedic effect, all right, cool, how do you make it? I'll make a video, I think, bro, like, how can this get to as many people as possible? It's got to be relatable.
Yeah, 100%.
So I sit there and I'm like, all right, cool. If I'm talking about, like pre-workouts at the gym, what are the best, most popular pre-workouts? Pre-workouts that people hate, pre-workouts that people love. And I build that contrast. Because, bro, the way I build a video is like a piece of art in the sense of like, it's got to be storytelling. Like, why do people love WWE? It's fake. Everyone knows it's fake.
Yeah.
Everyone knows it's BS, but it's the story.
So true,
It gets
bro.
people hooked. So every time I make a video, I make it relatable and I build a story around it. You know, exactly like obviously you're a videographer.
Yeah.
You're in videography, so you know where you build that story, and I make a video to make people feel like they're living through my videos.
Yeah.
When I talk about the big,
see that,
tiger blanket, the
Bro,
big,
that killed my life. You don't understand.
you know what I mean? Like everyone had that big tiger blanket. You know,
I
it's
still
weighted.
use it now.
Exactly, man. I gotta go buy one.
Still
when I get
use
back
it,
home.
bro.
Blankets, bro, I swear.
It's the greatest thing. I love
Exactly,
it.
man. And it's just like points like that bring people together. Because at the end of the day, man, look, man, 3 different Nashos here, but we're more alike than we are different.
100%.
That's so true, bro.
That's what I love about Australia, though, bro.
Exactly,
Is
man.
that like we can all sit, coes, you leave politics and religion at the door, and you're just mates. Doesn't matter what creed you come from, nothing, bro. We're all just mates at the end of the day.
That's what
We
made
can
me,
have a great time.
and that's what made me realize how relatable, like how like different cultures and at the end of the day we're all the same, we all think the same by your videos.
Yeah.
Because you'd be like, bro, like fuck, I'm not the only one that thinks like this. You know what I mean?
Of
You got a lot
course.
of situational comedy, eh?
Yeah, observational. Observational, situational, a bit of both. But I think like 80-90% observational, 10 to 20% situational, yeah.
Oh, I said
It's,
that the wrong way.
yeah, like I think it's one of those things where sometimes I'll be just in a sitch and I'll just be like, bro, this is funny. I'm gonna make a video about this. I can't be the only one going through this, man. And I just like we'll go back to the homeless joke. Like essentially I won't say the full joke, but essentially what happened was I remember going up to someone and I'm like, bro, why do they have these coin things like on trolleys at Coles? I'm like, why do they have those coin things on trolleys? Like, man, just let us like get our trolley and like take it back. And like they do it to stop the homeless people from taking them and putting all their stuff in it. And I'm like, well, that's a weird way to stop homeless people. And she's like, what do you mean? I'm like, well, think of who has coins.
And these are, you know what's funny? These are things, when you walk into Woolies, when you walk into Woolies, it's the first thing you think.
Hard, bro.
Right? It's like, why the fuck do they have
I don't
coins?
have coins.
Vacuum cleaners and homeless people. They're the only 2 things that have coins.
Literally.
Like, bro, if you want homeless people, just put like a rental approval or something on there. Just put something on there. See, you boys laugh. But Sydney and Melbourne did not appreciate that joke, bro.
Grow up, man. Fuck me, dude. That's funny, man.
I think it's that,
you know what I mean?
woke culture.
And I
It's
just
woke
thought, yeah,
culture,
exactly,
bro.
man. Woke culture,
crazy.
and I think sometimes as well, the bigger the audience, the more hesitant people are to laugh because they're like, Mo's watching me.
Good.
And if I laugh at this,
Yeah.
he's gonna think ABC.
Yeah.
1,
Really,
2,
bro?
3. Because you gotta remember, like the one thing that surprised me with stand-up comedy is, oh man, your show's in November. We're gonna do a Christmas party. We're gonna come to your thing. So if you're there with your boss, your CFO, your CEO,
Yeah.
and I can rip a homeless joke, and you work in,
And you're like, yeah.
you work in community services.
Yeah.
Straight
And
out, I'll
they're
probably
just
get
gonna look
sacked
at you
for
like, bro,
laughing.
is this the same guy? This guy's an op, bro. This is working with us. They're laughing at the
I
homeless.
honestly don't think, if I heard that joke and you were on stage, I don't think I could hold that laughter back straight
Yeah,
out. I
but-
would cry, regardless of who's next to me. I can't, I don't know how people do that shit, bro.
but that
Everything's
was
too
one of those-
calculated
yeah.
and cold and nah, fuck that.
Yeah, but that's the reality of comedy, and I think that's one of the things. Like I said, with online, you don't get that feedback.
Yeah.
Because you put it up, and then if someone like if they're in bed
Yeah.
or they're on the couch, like I'm here with the boys, and we watch that video, we're all gonna crack up.
Yeah.
Fucking oath,
Yeah, but like when they're in front of like the missus or in front of their
That's-
mates or their boss or
yeah.
anything, they get a bit funny.
Wow.
Interesting.
So yeah,
It's funny
but
to think
that's-
about, eh?
Yeah, that was the transition.
What's the most unhinged DM you've ever received? Like the most crazy DM?
I think there was this one lady. She was like, "Oh man," I don't know, like I'm drinking a pop top while saying this. I don't care.
Hey, it's Tedsthetics. You can do whatever you
Yeah,
want, bro.
and you can't change my
Thanks,
mind.
boy.
You can't
That's
change
it.
his bloody mind.
A lady messaged me, bro, full racial DM. Going hard, man. Go back to Broad Meadows, you scum, you this, you that,
Nah.
and everything. You know, you Arabs, you this, you that. I love, bro. People just group me into Arab.
Yeah, yeah.
They're not even offending me,
Hard.
but whatever. I'll take offense for the shabab.
Yeah, the shababs.
And then, man, I don't know why, but I just, you know what? No, we're going to scrap that story. We're going to go to a Sydney focus story.
Here we
Even
go.
better.
Here we go.
I haven't said this on a podcast, that's why.
Hectic.
Oh. Guys, right
Bro.
here, we've got the exclusive
First
skill.
and foremost, if you own a business, don't message someone a hate message.
Hard.
This guy goes from his business page, bro, sends me a message abusing me.
What's this business?
Abusing me.
Balut, bro.
He sends me a message through his business page. Haram, man. It's like one of those things, bro. He just called me at the right time.
Yeah.
Where I saw that message and I actually
Yeah,
cared.
yeah.
Like, I don't know why, bro. Jarrasni, man.
Yeah.
But, bro, I felt like, nah, I've got to reply to this guy.
Yeah.
And just teach him a lesson. I'll respond to him. I'm like, brother, if you're going to send an abusive message, don't send that from your business page. But I could post up your business on my story and literally ruin your business.
Yeah, yeah.
Google reviews, you know, tell people like this guy tried to pick up, you know, like I saw him trying to pick up kids at a school or something. I could say anything. People are going to believe me more than they believe your business. Anyway, I could say anything. I'll literally ruin this guy's business.
Yeah.
What does this guy do? He doubles down.
No.
He starts abusing me even more. And I'm like, bro, I'm like, what? I'm like, just watch it, man. I'm like, you're an idiot. He triples down. Gets even more abusive.
100% is from Sydney, this bloke.
100%. So the man's from Sydney anyways, and then I just blocked him. I'm like, bro, I tried to be the nice guy and like give him like, you know, benefit of the doubt. Like, come on, man. If you're gonna do something stupid, at least do it from your real account. Don't do it from your business. Anyways, time passes and everything, but I completely forgot about this. I'm at a cafe here in Sydney. I'm sitting down talking to my mate, and this guy walks in. Now this guy walks in, bro. He walks in with his mate, but he looks at me, and like usually it's like, you're the guy that makes videos. Bro, this guy looked at me, Casper, bro. He turned as white as the AJBHQ vase, bro. This guy was white, pale, bro. Pale, bro. Bro, like your Air Force One, it was pale, bro. I don't even know who this guy is, yeah? Like, he just messaged me from business account. And like, I'm looking, I'm like, bro, is this guy, like someone needs to get him Gatorade or some water or some basic blaze or something, man. Get him something, man.
Some pre-workout.
Yeah, anyways, I'm just
Give him a
like,
bump.
like maybe he's like, you know, he just doesn't know how to communicate, like, you know, that he likes my videos or whatever. I'll just mind my business, keep talking to my mate. Comes up to me and says, hey, brother, do you mind if I talk to you? I'm like, yeah, of course, man. He's like, oh, my name is so-and-so. Do you remember this business messaging you? And like, bro, my brain is firing on all cylinders. I'm like, bro, like, honestly, like, I wish I could remember, but I don't know. I'm like, man, I get so many messages, I can't keep up. I'm like, so hopefully it was good. You know, if it was good, like, you know, like, I'm sorry, like, you know, might have been one of those conversations that's just fluid. Then there's like, nah, I actually sent you an abusive message, and I just wanted to come up to you and apologize. And, you know, like,
at
just
least you
say,
done
like,
that.
bro, you changed my
Done the solid,
perspective. Yeah, like, you changed my perspective. He's like, I could have just walked in and finished, you know, like, gone about my business.
Yeah.
But he's like, I saw you, and he's like, you taught me such a valuable lesson that I felt like as a man, I should come up to you and apologize and thank you for like setting me straight, like,
Yeah,
because
Good.
You know, you could have genuinely ruined my business. I've got a family.
Yeah, he understood.
Yeah, he understood.
Bro got the message.
And I'm like, bro, you know what? Usually I'd just be like, bro, don't worry about it. But I'm like, I shook his hand. I'm like, look, no worries, man. I'm like, you learned your lesson? Cool. That's it.
What nationality was he?
Good question, man. Middle Eastern. I'll put it at that, man.
I thought it would have been
I
racial.
know. I
thought
sound like
it was-
AFP, but Middle Eastern. Middle Eastern appearance.
I thought it would have been racial.
Pardon?
I thought it would have been racially motivated, like him saying.
No. Well, his message wasn't racially motivated. It was just like I don't know, man. It feels like, bro, like as a content creator, what happens, bro, is a lot of people have genuine wish and desire to want to do it, but they don't have it within them. So when they see you doing it, it eats at them, bro. It eats at, I don't know what, it eats at them.
Yeah.
And instead of just being like, bro, you know what, bro, you're doing such a great job. Oh, bro, I wish I was you. I wish I was you, and I wish I could do something. Can you help me, man? Well, what do I need to do to get started? These people just turn it around and just abuse you instead, man. And
highlights all their shortcomings, bro. That's why.
It's a constant reminder of what they wanted to do. If they
I
don't
work
have
in
the balls
community
to do it,
services, bro. I've got empathy for these people, bro. All I can do is feel sorry for these people. Because at the end of the day, man, if you're insecure about not doing something, man, why should I be upset at you, man? Haram, you know, like these people could be. You know what, bro? I just assume everyone has a mental health issue online. Man, it saves me the headache,
They really do. They really do.
Just, you know.
yeah, exactly, man. Bro, you're cooked. You know what? Until the day I meet you, I'm just gonna assume you're cooked.
Hard.
And you know what? That gives me the peace to go about my business every day.
But and that's what I like see with America, and you understand this as well. Like, see how they have that mentality of like, it's all or nothing, bro. Either they're gonna make it or not. So they back the people that's actually going for it. You know how they can like I feel like they're more like behind the people than what we are. But because we're so comfortable here, everyone's like, oh, if I don't do this, I can just go work a 9-to-5 job and still be comfortable. You know what I mean? They turn their back on their dreams or whatever they call, like, you know, that they're able to do. You know how they trade what they're comfortable for, what they're capable of. You know how they just throw that away. You know what I mean? And then when they see people like you doing it, they're sort of like living vicariously for you, and they hate that sort of like.
That, and I think a lot of the problem here in Australia, and like these are boys that I know, I love them to death, and you probably know boys like this as well. A lot of people are like really into motivation porn. So they watch these like podcasts and, you know, inspirational quotes and everything. And instead of like actually going and doing the thing, they just watch this stuff and G themselves up, but don't actually do anything. Whilst in America, there's like, no, like, in Sydney, it's a bit like this, a bit more than Melbourne. But in America, it's like obviously blown off, like the lid's completely blown off in the sense of like, you want to open up a gym? Cuz my mate's a carpenter, he'll help you. So people are very resourceful in America.
That's what I mean.
Whilst people here, they're like, oh, you want to open up a gym? Is that going to make you money? Are you going to become a videographer? Is that going to make you money? So is there money in that? People just like, but people here have a problem to every solution.
Oof. What the?
That's a
That's
bar,
a bar,
nigga.
bro.
It's a bar, brother.
That's what it
It
is,
took
bro.
a second. I was on, you know,
Bro, every
Pentium
solution
processor
you
right
give them, every solution you give them, they have a problem to it, bro. No one can
Fucking
ever
hell.
turn around and be like, oh, you know what, bro? You want to do that? Good on you. I don't know anything about it, bro, but good on you. I don't like. You want to fight? Cuz, good on you. You know what? I don't know anything about it, but bro, if you need a sponsorship, I might know some mechanic who might sponsor you, anything
Everyone's
like
willing
that.
to help out,
No, here, the
none of
exact
that,
opposite.
bro.
Oh, cuz, is there money in that? Oh, why would you do that? Cuz, don't you get brain damage? Oh, you open up a gym? Cuz, there's already 10 gyms in the area. We're going to open up. So, cuz, abundance mindset, man. Whilst in America, man, there's that push. They're very resourceful. And if anyone's willing to have a crack, they're willing to sort of get behind them, push them, and also promote them. Especially like culturally, they're more in touch with their culture. There. Like the Latinos are very like, they support each other. African Americans support each other. So it's very different as well. And I think just the volume of people, man, it's a numbers game in America.
It's true, eh?
Bro, you've got that many people, bro. If you can't capture 50,000 people out of 300 million people, then probably your product is the problem, not,
So true.
not the audience.
We got what, 27 mil here? 26 million here?
Yeah, let's say 27 mil, let's say 30 mil, man. And, you know, the aim of the game, that's why people are like, oh, bro, you're one of the, you know, the biggest in Australia. Well, brother, there's 30 million, man, and I'm barely on 500K on Instagram. So there's a lot more work to do.
There's still numbers, bro.
Yeah, no, there's still numbers, of course. But like, that's what keeps me going.
yeah.
Because there's the moment, like I said, the moment I start thinking I'm the man, then, cuz unless...
It's also kind of
man,
like when you play games. You used to play games a lot, right? So when you've done everything and you get bored.
Of course, man.
You need goals. You need you need something at the end of the
You need
road.
side quests.
Yeah,
and,
side
you know,
quests.
Yeah, you need side quests and you need things along the way to keep you
Better armor, better
motivated.
shit,
Yeah,
yeah.
of course, man. So yeah, sometimes they, you know, when I used to get shredded, they used to think like, you know what, bro, after this, I'm just going to get fat. just so I can get shredded again. So you just need a challenge, something, to keep you going. So I'll just get that mental.
I'm just gonna get fat so I can get shredded again.
Yeah, exactly.
It's too easy
just
now,
those
huh?
games.
Addictive
Like,
personality,
I clocked
like.
it. Yeah, exactly,
It's
man.
a very good trait to have,
Exactly,
bro.
man. Right, look at the DEXA scans. 6.5% body fat.
Doing all right, doing all right.
For my comp, for the comp, I got down to
that's
6.5, man.
Impressive.
It's fucking
bro.
low.
Yeah,
bro.
so that was
Lowest I
good,
got
man.
is about 7, 8, bro.
Yeah, I got down to 6.5. But brother, if I showed you what I was eating,
Yeah.
if I was eating that little, I was shitting it once every 3 days.
Nah.
That much. Yeah, man.
How many calories a day?
I'll probably get my ex-coach arrested. No, I was like 1,500 at that point,
Man,
and
it's-
smashing an hour cardio a day. It was ridiculous.
To get that low, it's so painful, man.
Right, painful, man. I used to wake up. I used to go to sleep. It's time travel to my next meal.
Eat and then sleep. But you feel drained anyway.
Yeah, drained. Bro, I couldn't get it up for the last 6 weeks, bro.
Fuck, but I don't know how bodybuilders do it.
Yeah,
When I done
man.
it, bro, I'm like, bro, how the fuck is this like even a thing?
Yeah,
It
man.
feels like your estrogen peaks. You get emotional before the comp. You start, someone will say
Everything, man.
something.
But I
you
was
start
turning on my
crying.
mum, turning on my sister.
Yeah, bro.
Why are you looking at me?
Yeah, man.
Fucking hell.
Only to get a plastic medal and go home, bro.
Yeah,
it's
hard.
weird, man.
Did
It's
you
super
end
weird.
up placing?
No, I didn't place, man. I was like, it was like this, man. I should have gone to fitness, not even physique, man. I was stringy. My peak week was like all over the place.
Yeah.
It didn't do well. Man. It was the worst experience, but the best experience. I always say like,
the same
there's
for
always
me.
like people should work like a retail or warehouse job, like at least once in their life
Yeah,
to
yeah.
realize like, what it
understand
takes,
how
like, what
hard,
hard
yeah.
work is. Same thing with like dieting. I reckon
Yeah.
everyone should get down to single-digit body fat. They'll learn they'll look at food differently.
100%.
You know, they'll learn to respect themselves a lot more.
So as a Muslim, was it a struggle growing up with a lot of cultural and religious divide that happens in this country?
Yes and no. I think like being Moroccan, it's one of those things, bro. People don't assume I'm Muslim straight off the bat.
Yeah,
Like, a lot of people like with my channel, and I'll say this on the podcast, bro. I'm apolitical,
Yeah.
asexual. I've only just started posting about religion recently because
Yeah.
I feel like a bit more confident to. If someone can ask me a question, I don't want to be the guy like, oh, I don't know. And they'll be like, so you're just
Yeah.
blindly following.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm like very like off it. And then after my last tour, like obviously like got back on the religion, on the straight paths, Sirat al-Mustaqim, so the straight path.
Yeah.
And then that was the point where like you realize like the money hit. I thought like after the tour, the money hits. Bro, sweet, I'm wrapped. The money hit, and I'm just like, what now?
Yeah.
And then you realize like, you got to have purpose. You got to have a greater purpose than you and everything. But growing up, man, honestly, because I was never like tied to sort of like, no one ever looked at me as like, oh, that's the Lebo Muslim. Or, that's the thing. I'm being Moroccan.
You didn't isolate yourself. Eh?
No, like I hang around with everyone, like my Islander mates all went church on Sunday. The boys that were Muslim, they went mosque on Friday. I still went mosque. I play, bro, I grew up playing with Somalians. Half of them know the Quran back to front, off the heart. Yeah, so, like I never really like felt that sort of tension. And plus I was a video gamer, man. I never really went out much to really feel it. I think like now, when I went, so recently I went Saudi for Umrah in the last 10 days of Ramadan. And I remember like when I posted that I was there, I think within the first 24 hours of me posting that I was there, I lost 1,460 something followers in 24 hours. Just saying I'm in Mecca. Posing in front of the Kaaba, I lost that many followers, which I don't care. At the end of the day, like easy come, easy go. I've gained 1,000 in a day, so losing 1,000 in a day is light work, right?
But it just goes to show the mentality of some people in this
The mentality
country.
of some people, sometimes, just even you having some sort of faith, rubs them the
sort of
wrong way.
standing,
Yeah, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, man, for me, personally, as long as someone is a person of faith, a person of the book,
Yeah.
like they
people
follow,
of the book.
people of the
Indeed.
book. Exactly, man. They have got faith. Then I'm probably gonna work with them and trust them and enjoy their stuff a bit more.
Yeah.
Than people who are just aimlessly like. How many people you talk to? I've got no purpose. I've got no nothing and no guidance and everything. But when you realize that there's a greater purpose and everything, you sort of you walk different, you move different. Everything is like done with intent and a lot more purpose. So
It's so true.
yeah, it's different, and I never felt it when I was younger. Also, now that I'm older, I realize that
You
there
see
are
a
some
lot-
people. Yeah, there's some people that just, bro, they won't accept you, and that's okay
No
as
matter
well.
what, eh?
Yeah, no matter how good you
Yeah.
are, if just seeing you being Muslim, they don't like it.
There's a lot more like, cultural and religious divide here in Sydney.
I feel like the main reason for that, because it goes back to the melting pot, right?
Yeah.
You speak to people overseas. I go to Australia, I'm going to go to Sydney.
Yeah.
So you think about it, all the migrants that come here, their dream is to come move to Sydney.
Yeah.
So you got all these
Yeah.
cultures mixing up. What's in like well, I mean, Glenroy at the time was just Lebos.
Yeah.
A few Iraqis, a few Turks, Assyrians, you know, a bit of everything. Islanders, and that's it, man. Like, it was just like, yeah, you know, you do you, I do me.
There's
Like,
another
no one
aspect to
really-
it though, because if you go to Lebanon, you've got Lebanese Muslims and Lebanese Christians, and they're like this.
Yep.
Cowies, all get along, no dramas, right? And you come here, and the same two people, Lebanese Muslims, Lebanese Christians, in competition. They're always arguing, they're always fighting, there's always a punch on, there's always a brawl, there's always something. So it's also sort of, there's some sort of deep-rooted issue that I don't understand what it is, or I haven't identified what it is, but I still, for some reason, I don't know why they are the way they are. Everyone's always in competition with each other. Everyone's always trying to rip everyone down more than bring each other up.
Like the Western way of living, you know,
Rat
Western
race?
culture mixed in
Yeah.
with
The rat race
Maybe.
as well.
that as well.
Yeah, big
you know.
rat race.
I don't know
Sydney,
what
bro.
it is, bro,
Massive.
but like I've seen a lot of the Lebanese Christian community, they band together and they work together and they help each other, similar to what you were saying before, like, oh, I know a carpenter, I know a Sparky. Some job will come in, so let's say that you've got a group of 5 mates, Sparky, builder, plumber, all the different, you know. One of the builders will get a job come in and he'll be like, okay, you've got the contract for the Sparky, you've got the contract for the plumber, all that. And in the Muslim communities, I really barely see anyone banding together, to be honest. I haven't received any support from many of my Muslim friends. All my Christian friends gave me their support straight away.
You want to, it's ironic you say that some of the worst, as a content creator, some of the worst business deals I've ever made started off with the words, Assalamu alaikum.
It's crazy, huh?
Fuck.
How crazy,
Crazy,
is that?
bro.
That's crazy. Bro.
Yeah, which is unfortunate, right? These are the same people.
It's so bad.
These are the same people that you want to back you, but this and then also makes you realize that, bro, you've just got to rely on strangers, man.
Yeah.
You can't really rely on your own people.
Yeah, it's
Very going back to the whole, like, you know, people talking negative and
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
Bro, you can't rely on your mates to give you that support, give you that push to thing. At the end of the day, man, you're relying on your alarm to wake up. You're not relying on your mates to wake you
Anyone
up and
else,
be
yeah.
everything. You just got to rely on strangers, rely on technology. Like, we're a technology-driven society now.
Yeah.
Rely on technology, rely on complete strangers.
Yeah.
And rely on God's economy as well. You know, like for every job that you can't do, there's someone out there that'll do it for a price.
It's true.
And,
as
and
well.
that's okay. And that's okay. Be willing to pay that price because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, you pay that price, you pay someone fairly, God will open up doors for you
100%, bro.
in
I'm
ways
agree
that you
with
can't
that
even
too.
imagine.
Hard.
Yo, bro, like there's been times like
Abundantly
we've gone back
too,
to
bro.
videography.
Yeah.
Anything creative is, bro, like anytime there's a budget, the videographers are the last on the list. Last on the list, bro, we're just gonna give you whatever's left over. I've made it my duty. I'm not going to work with a videographer unless I can pay him exactly what he wants. If I can't afford him, I'd rather tell him I can't afford him
100%.
than be like, come on, bro, do it for this price, do it for that price.
It's crazy what you said before as well about your the closest people to you wanting the shit for free as well. Do you know how many people hit me up from school? I haven't seen them in 10 years, or from footy, I haven't seen them in 15 years, and they're all asking for free shit. I'll come do my sister's photos just when you're free, you know, just come have a dig and just do it for like we're mates, you know, look after me. Bro, these are the prices. You don't like it, go somewhere else.
It's very easy to hide intentions behind business, family, or
It's so
Definitely,
bad.
and I think to add another layer to that is when someone wants you to do something, but they act like they're doing you a favor.
Oh,
Hard.
Like, bro, train me. Like,
Yeah.
trust me, you get places
Yeah.
if you train me. It's like, you know,
Cause
I've
look
got
at
to-
me, brother.
Yeah.
I'm a unit, cuz.
Bro, you put me on your story,
Yeah,
watch, bro.
hard.
You get the clients, right? It's just like, bro, it doesn't work like that, man.
Yeah,
At the end of the day, Vic Rhodes isn't asking me for comments and likes, man. Asking me for pay. And
Yeah.
this is the
Can't.
price.
there's a quote in my industry that they say it all the time. I can't pay for petrol with exposure.
Yeah.
I can't pay my bills with exposure. You know what I mean?
That's so
you
true,
get
bro.
heaps of exposure for it. That's why the budget's a quarter of what you asked for. Okay, cool.
Yeah, of course,
I
man.
can't pay my phone bill with exposure, mate.
100%.
Hey Teddy, do you reckon there's a specific guideline to making viral videos? If so, what's your process?
The process, man, honestly, the process is for me just a lot of research at the moment. That's all it is, man. Every video that I make is a good story, research, a great hook. Obviously, starting off the video with something that's going to catch someone's attention, and then flowing it so it's like it retains people's attention, and then ending it with a bang. So like when that bang is so funny, they're like, "That was funny. Let me share it. I'm going to share it to you. I'm going to share it to you. I'm going to share it to you." Research, bro. People can see through the bullshit. Yeah, like, but if you're jumping online and you're saying like, "Oh yeah, this is my skincare routine," people are like, "Bro, this guy doesn't do skincare routine." Yeah, or like very less likely to do skincare routine. Who knows? Yeah. What's if you talk about gym? Like, yeah, fuck, this guy looks like you can feel authenticity through. So sometimes it's authenticity, but also like a bit of like a lot of research as well to make sure you're confident about what you're talking about.
Yeah.
'Cause someone is going to pull you up on it. Because the good thing about online and a bad thing is people will always reflect your personality back upon you.
Live feedback.
Whatever energy you bring online, they're going to bring upon you.
Yeah.
And that's why with like my videos, I bring the energy of like, oh bro, I know exactly. That's why I say, and you can't change my mind. Because I know one of you guys is going to come up to me whilst I'm at Coles with my daughters and be like,
and trying to verb you.
Or then I'll be like, oh bro, I saw your video about this and oh, you think I can change your mind? And I'm like, no, I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So, you know, just, a whole lot of research, a really good hook, a good story, and end it with a bang, man. That's my viral recipe.
Yeah.
It can work for everyone. It can not work for everyone. I guess it also depends on the personality behind the camera.
Yeah.
You know, different dynamics for podcasts, just like there's a different dynamic for a 1 minute clip.
I feel like you've got the type of personality that can make anything work. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, maybe. Maybe I just need the right team behind me, man. And honestly, a big part of me, and I think, like, I'll say this on camera, like, there's a big part of me that thinks, like, I might have to move to Sydney eventually.
Yeah.
Come with the boys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, pick it with the boys.
Yeah, it's just one of those things where, like, you know, like, there's a lot more resources here.
Yeah.
And going back to everything, like, because I'm from Melbourne, people from Sydney are willing to help and be resourceful.
Yeah.
But because you're from Sydney and you're from that suburb and you're that Nasho, you know those boys, no, I'm not going to help you. But because I'm from Melbourne, I'm Switzerland. I come here, people are willing to help. I can be as resourceful as possible. You know, I haven't grown up here, so I don't have any enemies or anything like that. I can just create content, have fun. Or I might just have to do like really long stints here just because like the facilities here, you know, like even just coming to this. Yeah, like coming to this studio, like where when you message me the address, but it's a panel beater, it's not a car rental.
Yeah.
Well, I freaked him out.
I was like confused. I'm confused, bro.
He's like, I'm confused. I'm like, no. And then like when I drove past before, I'm like, oh yeah. But you know, like I know where to go. There's a lot more studios here. There's a lot more places to go and record.
There's a lot more content creators, videographers.
Content creators, but not even just content creators. There's just a lot more going on in Sydney to talk about.
There is, bro. I feel like it is compared to every other state.
Definitely. And then when you get, it's almost like that fascination between like, you know, people like in Australia will see someone from the UK and they're like, oh man, he's so funny, but he's just saying what we're saying in a UK accent.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's just like,
nothing special.
Exactly. It's nothing special, but because in a UK accent, like the chunks will come down or something, one of those big YouTubers, and they'll say anything that we would say. But because in the UK accent it's so much better, and people lose their mind. So I think there's also that fascination of like when someone from Sydney goes to Melbourne, oh, bro, he's from Sydney, he must be right.
Must be,
Yeah, and then we're like Melbourne coming to Sydney, oh, he's from Melbourne, he must, you know, like, oh, he sees it in a
the
different light.
mystery, like what you were saying before. 100%. What's, you joke a lot about growing up ethnic, right? What's one stereotype you actually think is true? Like for real, it's true.
Wow. The one stereotype that I think is true, but it's also a gift, is man, as ethnics, we're clean, bro.
Hard, eh?
We're clean.
Yeah.
You know, I never knew how clean we were until I was like about 15, 16.
Yeah.
And I had a girl who were paired up for a group assignment. And she's like,
PDHP or something, huh?
She's like, oh, come my house, we can work on it and everything. I rocked up to her house.
Pigsty.
Brother, I've never seen anything like that. And the cherry on top, her mum came out. She's like, oh, tea's ready. And I'm like, what the hell's tea? Because all I hear is the can opener, can spaghetti,
Oh, man.
pop, on a plate that already had like residue from whatever was on it before. And
No
I'm like,
way.
bro, like I got down to the ground and I'm like,
Alhamdulillah.
but you know, bro,
Thank you for my life.
Mom, I love you.
you know, you think you grow up having a heart until you're in a situation like
100%,
that.
bro.
Yeah, bro.
And even at a point now, bro, we're different religions here. But how many times do you look at stuff and you're like, bro, thank God I believe in God, bro.
100%, bro.
If I didn't believe in God, I'd be like these people.
That's me every time I see the
100%.
fluffies and all that on the thing.
That was me at the Aussie girl's house.
Oh.
I was like, bro, thank God for my upbringing. I don't care. I don't care. I'll cop twice the beltings.
Yeah.
I'll cop twice the
Badly.
views. I'll cop everything.
You appreciate your culture more when you see things like
Definitely.
that.
We're clean,
100%.
man.
Yeah.
And, you know, like I've got mates in real estate now and everything. And they're like, bro, anytime I've got ethnics in the house,
Yeah.
clean as a whistle.
Yeah.
Fuck, I'd rather get belted and wash my ass than not fucking, you know.
Yeah, exactly,
Clean up
man.
after
So
myself,
that's
bro.
one stereotype that's a gift for us, man. We're clean people and we take pride in what we do.
Yeah.
They might not know how to show it, you know, like our parents sort of never really had the blueprint to really like know how to communicate their feelings and communicate, you know, like everything that they do.
They made it
But
work,
you know
bro.
what? But they made it work, exactly, man.
Well, we all turned out pretty good, bro. So
Yeah,
surely
man.
they got some things right, you know.
Of course.
Hey,
man.
Ted, I got a bit of a personal question for you. You know, growing up, did you struggle with mental health a lot?
I'm one of the fortunate ones, man, where,
Yeah.
you know, I really didn't have, if anything, I think I just kept myself away because I knew, like, if I delved down the path of, you know, talking to girls or doing anything like that, you know, I'd probably, like, struggle a bit. Like, bro, I grew up a chubby kid.
Yeah.
So if anything, like, mentally, I just, like, was never happy with the way I looked and that. And then the only time I really, like, we'll say growing up, like I wasn't happy with my body, insecure, I guess.
Yeah.
Growing up, but the only real mental thing was, like, obviously anxiety was performing on stage. And then I think as well, like I recently, like obviously I said, like we'll touch on this very lightly, like about just under a year ago, I got divorced.
Yeah.
And there was that period where like for the one time in my life, like I just felt like, bro, you know, like people, I think the ironic thing is, and maybe this is my ignorance, I want to say arrogance, just ignorance of like, surely depression or anxiety or anything like, bro, these people are just exaggerating it. But when it rains, it pours.
I was one of those people as well. I never used to believe in it.
Yeah, man. You just think to yourself, like, bro, surely, man, it's not what it's cracked out to be. And then you go through a traumatic experience like that, where you think like everything's like all your dominoes are lined up.
Yeah.
Oh, man, this is sweet. And then that one domino hits and then everything falls. Yeah. And it's just at one point where I was just like, fuck, okay, cool. I've got like a lot more empathy.
Yeah.
And, you know, like when you go through, I wouldn't say PTSD, but almost like, you know, like lack of sleep because you're just overthinking.
Yeah.
You know, like my right eye was twitching every day, man, because of lack of sleep. And, you know, being anxious of like, because the problem is like the one thing that people don't talk about, like when you get divorced, bro, I don't know if, like hopefully none of you boys get to go through it if you've ever been through a divorce is, bro, when people find out you're divorced, they treat you like a second-class citizen.
Yeah.
They look at you differently, bro.
Yeah. My mum copped that a lot, bro.
My sister got divorced as well. They did the same thing.
They look at you, bro, and then you add the layer of kids. They look at you like, bro, if anything, I'm a 10 times better father because I'm divorced because I look after them. Like now, all I have to work for is them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you know when people treat you as a second-class citizen, that just exacerbates even more.
Yeah.
Like you know what you're going through. So growing up, I didn't have it, but a lot later in life, I feel like the more you do, because when I was young, I didn't do much. Yeah. But the more I do now, the more I'm like, oh, man, this is a bit crazy, right? And like creative burnout is one thing,
crazy,
right? And about like when you know your mind is working against you and it's working against the machine. It's the worst, bro. Like, and you think like, yeah, man, I'm a machine. Probably had the same thought, like, yeah, bro, I'm a machine, because now what, I need to speak to a therapist. And then you get to that point, you're like, bro, actually, like, you know, thank God. Like, I'm like, bro, I need to speak to someone, man. Yeah. I need a second brain to help me work through this. And, you know, it was the best thing that I did was speak to a therapist.
Sometimes all you gotta do is just hit the reset button, eh?
Yeah, or, you know, like, there's how many people, like, maybe I'll take them up on that island, you know, vacation, you know, just go there, get a factory reset and come back. Yeah. But, no, all jokes aside, you know, just speaking to someone and, you know, like, obviously, like, working through everything, and then it becomes manageable.
Was it hard for you to talk to someone?
Yes and no.
Because you know
because of who I am.
Yeah.
No, because they aren't like, you have to go in with the mindset of, all right, cool. This is someone that
can help,
doesn't know me, and they're there to help me. They're working with me.
Yeah.
They're not there to just listen, because what boys think is like, bro, I'm not gonna pay someone $150 to sit there and listen to me. They actually sit there and work through things with you. Yeah.
They give you tactics and that.
Tactics and so, you know, bro, like, it's like, bro, you wouldn't go into a camp without coaches. Yeah, I think that's the best way to look at it, right? And the same thing, I'm like, bro, Cristiano Ronaldo, the greatest soccer player, you know, like to reach like till 38, 39, 40 years old now, still needs coaches till this day, and he's the GOAT. Who am I? Yeah. Who am I, bro? I know, bro, if anything, I need probably like 10 times the amount of coaches that he needs. So, you know, you speak, to boxers, they've got a mindset coach and everything. And I'm just like, you know what? Good enough for these athletes, good enough for me. And if I'm making a living off of social media, I need my mental health. Yeah. If I've got two daughters, if anything, I've got two daughters, I need my mental health.
Because you can so easily cave into the comment section sometimes, man.
Yeah, bro, the comment section is the least of my worries, man. Sometimes it's just me and my own thoughts, bro. Yeah. We're just going back to that, right? Sometimes it's just you, your own thoughts, intrusive thoughts. Am I good enough? You know, sometimes, bro, that's like the one sentence that will always eat at any of us. Yeah. Am I good enough? And you just sit there and think, am I good enough?
Even that 500,000 followers, he's saying.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, of course, man.
Yeah,
of course, man. And, you know, like,
me,
and sometimes, and bro, people don't realize like how pivotal conversations are. We could just turn off the cameras now and you'd be like, oh, bro, good chat. But that one thing that you said, man, like, I didn't think you'd say that. And I'd be in the Uber back to the hotel, like, man, am I good enough for podcasting? He thought, even though you're just like, just trying to, like say, oh, like ABC. Sometimes like saying that small, that's why they always say, like, you've got nothing good to say, don't say it, right? So that's why I'm like, like after everything, like I'm just super conscious of like what I consume. That's why people always like, oh, bro, do you think you're stuck up? You don't follow many people. I'm like, no, I'll follow people that I know, that I've met, and people that I'm like, you know what, if I see their content, but I'm actually happy for them. I want to support them. I want to reach out and say, like, oh, this is funny, or this is, this is good, and everything like that. And yeah, man, so just, battling my own mental health was a ride of its own. But, fortunately and unfortunately, copped it a lot later in life, man. Was like growing up, all glory to God, man. I was, just a very headstrong man. And just stayed to myself.
Some people early, some people later, huh?
Yeah, and I mean, like,
that's crazy, man.
Just like death, it doesn't discriminate.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, that's the sad part about mental health. Yeah, it doesn't discriminate. And there are loved ones, like probably all of us know here, man. We all have loved ones that are going through something, or friends that are going through something at the moment, but they're not even speaking up about it. And bro, you can't, like you look at the couches here. It's 4 boys, and we all sit here and say, bro, you're never too tough to speak to someone. Yeah. And sometimes that one conversation with a therapist,
save their life.
Seek professional help, and that could be the thing that changes the trajectory of your life. And like and boys love numbers, that could be the difference between you making 60 grand a year and 600 grand a year. Having that one conversation, that could be the one thing that, all right, cool, I've worked on this, let me become the next,
And how different, because like with mental health, in terms of mental health, bro, like I've looked it up, man, like it's a massive thing, first of all, but when like dealing with it, a lot of the symptoms, bro, they go away just from being heard. You know what I mean? Yeah, bro. Like, so 50%, I think mental illness dropped 50%. It was a study like done somewhere in England. I think it was like around 95, a long time ago, but still, like they're all mental, or like PTSD, unresolved grief, all those types of like mental illnesses, like they full dropped, like 50%, just by being heard of. No, like medication or anything like that.
Of course, so better out than in.
Yeah, so just talking, bro, like it speaks
talking,
volumes.
man, and sometimes, and I think there's a market for eventually, instead of like going to see a therapist, maybe just like an activity-based therapy. Sense of like, so you know what, you can go fishing with the boys, with a professional therapist. You can go fishing with him. Everyone sits on the pier, 3 or 4 boys, he's gonna all talk.
I've said this 100 times. It's always about getting out and doing something, bro. It gets your mind off of it.
That's what I mean with burnout. Sometimes doing something less quality or something higher quality that you don't usually do, but gets you out of your comfort zone.
You always had a niche for community services, eh?
Yeah, I mean, that's something like, bro, we leave the studio now, I get cancelled. I'll go back to community service. I'll still serve my community in one way or another.
Positive
and it's in a positive way. But I know I can reach more people doing social media, so I'll keep doing social media. And if the price I pay is some idiot messaging me on a Saturday night, then so be it. But I'll pay that price 10 times over, man.
Yeah, they say a man's legacy is if he leaves the world in a better or worse place than when he found it. Right? That's your legacy, is how you leave the world compared to how you found it. And I think the work that you're doing is very good in that regard, because you make a lot of people laugh, but you also help a lot of people through their own problems and stuff. And that's what we try to do on the podcast as well, is try to reach as many people and benefits. Even if we help one person, it was worth.
Each one.
We sat here for a couple hours,
Each one,
Definitely, man. 100%. I think what they say, it's called the best. No, I lost it, man.
That's all right.
I'm gonna need a factory reset, bro.
I have a question.
Back to Morocco, brother.
Back to the question.
Hey, Teddy, looking back on your life, you got any regrets?
No. Honestly, no. Even everything that I've been through, man, I've got 0 regrets. And I'll tell you why, man. Everything that I've done has led me to be on this couch with you boys. Right? And everything that's led me, all paths have led to here. And at the end of the day, man, whether you believe in destiny, whether you believe, like fate, whatever you want to call it, fate, destiny, man, everything is written by the man above. At the end of the day, we're given free will to make active choices along the way. And you either get there faster or slower, but you eventually get to where you need to be. And with the regrets, like, I'm very fortunate. Like, I haven't done anything that, of course, there are small things that I've done that I regret, but not something that, like will eat at me ever. But yeah, man, no regrets, man. And I wouldn't want any other way. And if I had to go through it all over again to end up on this couch with you boys, I'd go through it all.
That's a good answer, bro.
It's a very good answer.
They say if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together.
Yeah, definitely, man. And I think the people you meet along the way are all for a reason as well, man. Everyone serves everyone serves their reason. And like, bro, what are the chances of us following each other from like what, a year or two ago, to ending up on the couch? Yeah,
It's crazy.
Sometimes it's just something like a small gesture like that, or a small message. Yeah, bro, I could have just come Sydney, didn't even message him, been like, oh, you know, like,
Hey, I tell you, I appreciate that, man. Because not a lot of people with your following would do that. Because when I lost my following during COVID, I got cancelled. Certain celebrities stopped talking to me because they didn't know whether it was me off a fake page or not. So I lost all the connections I had.
Yeah.
I spoke to people from like Love Island or Maths or like all the shows that were on, like contestants from Survivor and that. And when I lost all my accounts, it just...
Would you ever go on a show like that?
Huh?
Would you ever go on a show like that?
Yeah, to take the piss out.
Wild card.
Definitely.
Wild card, man.
Imagine
Imagine watching
pulls out a fucking bottle. Yeah, go pick it up, I dare.
No, it would be fun, but...
Or he'd have to play himself down, completely down, like, hey boys.
What show is this? What show is this?
Weird.
Survivor or...
Survivor.
Oh, Survivor.
Yeah, you'd have to go down as like, I'd love to see on
Bro, you know how
Survivor, man.
calculated this bloke is? Everyone plays it like... Everyone assumes he's not as
Nah,
smart
brother,
as
I'm a coconut, brother.
Yeah, see? Everyone assumes he's just a
of course,
coconut, bro.
bro.
He's
Yeah.
one of the smartest people I know.
Well, the funny thing is, the main reason I ended up following you back is one of our mutuals said, he spent the day with me, we recorded videos, and at the end of the day, he's like, bro, you gotta make big cash, man. He's like, bro, you remind me of him so much, man. And I'm like, bro, hey, are you sure you're talking about the same big cash? He's like, yeah, man. He's like, man, I had a proper conversation with him, and then he's like, A, B, C, D, 1, 2, 3. And then he planted the seed in my mind.
Oh, yeah.
And then I was like, intention of like, bro, if I ever come out to Sydney, I'll try to catch up with you. I'll try to catch up with you. And here we are.
And you can't change my mind.
That's it.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
of
Change my
course.
mind.
But see, he's like me. I just play it down completely. Like, bro, man, I'll do nothing.
Yeah.
People ask me what I do for work. Like, I work media. Like, I don't tell them like I'll do content creation unless they bring it up. Sometimes people ask you just to sort of see like, oh, what is the
Right? You take it off as well.
Yeah, I know, I play it down, bro.
I don't play everything, bro. Yeah.
Play it down, yeah, man. Once I was at Bondi, and like these kids come up to me, took a photo, and this old lady's like, what do you do? I'm like, I just play soccer. She's like, oh, okay. Like, that's it, man. Like, bro, I'm not gonna
Manchester City.
Morocco.
You know, I just say something just because, bro, I can't be stuffed explaining, and you know, like I just play it down. Is it the best thing? Is it the worst thing? I don't care.
Yeah.
Whatever, man. If you've seen my videos, you've seen my videos. If you haven't, my plan is to keep reaching until I can reach you. Yeah.
I can't watch your videos, but they're too addictive. I end up scrolling from the top.
Honestly,
The other day I scrolled from the top all the way down to one you done ages ago with Ibi, talking about reasons why partners don't post.
Oh, yeah. We need to
I
do one like that.
I just get lost,
guy.
bro. I went all the way down there. It's all the way halfway down, like from a year ago.
Yeah, it's like
Ibi's one of those guys, man. Top bloke. Very, very funny.
Yeah.
And just one of those guys who's just done it for so long as well, man.
Yeah.
Just, you know, like making videos, having a laugh.
I've seen so many videos.
Shout out to Ibi, bro.
Yeah,
Been watching you
shout
guys
out
for
to Ibi,
years,
man.
man.
Yeah, no,
Bro,
he's...
I watched him so much, bro. When I seen him on a podcast acting normal, I'm like, fuck, bro, it's so weird for him to be like, because I'm so used
Where's
to
Moe?
seeing.
Don't worry.
Yeah. Where is he, man? Where's Moe from the area?
Where's Moe, man? Bro, there was this one time, me and Ibi, I forgot we were walking. I think it was in Perth. And this guy comes up to him, obviously Perth, man. This skip comes up to him. Hey, Moe, don't worry. And Ibi's like, hey, what are you saying? And he's just like, bro, he just knows when to turn it on.
He's doing
bro.
it to take the piss.
Yeah, exactly. He's like,
Funny.
hey, what are you doing, guys? You got anything?
He does it so well, bro.
Yeah, he does it so well, man.
Kills it.
His content's hectic too.
Yeah, of course, man. And just goes to show, going back to like the viral recipe, like you just find something that a lot of people, because the problem with like the Moe Don't Worry is like everyone knows the Moe Don't Worry.
Yeah.
Sometimes you are the Moe Don't Worry, but you don't ever want to portray it. You know, deep down inside, you're like, yeah, guys.
Yeah, you're still probably the most consistent on the internet right now.
Yeah,
Or
I mean,
have
yeah,
been
we
for
try.
a
Like,
for a while.
I feel like obviously there's bigger, and you know they're on different platforms and everything. But you know, for us from Melbourne, just us and the Sushi Mango boys, but they're in a whole different stratosphere. You know, they're selling out stadiums and arenas. So, but in terms of like just social
Right,
media,
give it 6 months a year.
Yeah.
You would
Yeah.
game over, brother.
Selling that opera house
That's
and
it.
shit.
Well,
Yeah,
boy.
that's it, brother.
That's it,
brother.
yeah, no, that's the aim of the game. Like,
Yeah.
you know, just one video at a time, and we just
so-
keep at it. And you know, like,
Hey, Teddy, you seen Captain Phillips?
What a movie.
It's about apparently it's a true story. It's about Somalians. They go capture the
Ship.
like a ship or something.
nah. but I'm not much of a movie person.
Yeah.
And you know what? If I sit here and tell you, like, yeah, cuz I'm going to go watch it, I'm bullshitting, bro.
Yeah. No. The only reason I'm asking you,
I'm capping, bro. That's straight bullshit, bro.
Yeah, don't worry, cuz I'll watch it tonight. Yeah, I'll watch it tonight.
no, but the only reason I'm asking, bro,
Just say yes, agree with him.
because the whole Somalian thing. I wanted to know if it was because apparently they're savage, bro.
They're savage because, bro, they got pushed into a war, like civil war. Like,
Yeah.
bro, they used to be one of the wealthiest.
Yeah.
A Somali man used to tell my dad they were so wealthy, they used to get goats,
Yeah.
kill a goat, just take the liver, kidney, like I don't know what the most valuable is, eat that, and throw the rest of the carcass in the beach, and, like in the lands. That's how wealthy they were once upon a time.
But Africa in general is like one of the most resource-dense places in the world.
Apparently there's a few oil.
And oil, gold, everything. They've got all of it. Minerals,
a bit of everything, and I think it's just...
It's the Western intervention, bro. It's all it
yeah,
is.
They think they
Western
destabilize a nation and then they just mine it
Gaddafi
for
got
everything.
knocked and that's it, bro.
And I
Everything's
think
gone.
as well, like it goes back to the whole, like have you guys heard of the conspiracy theory with slaves? Like how America got the slaves? They reckon,
Yeah, he knows all
yeah,
about
they
it.
reckon there's a belief that they actually, they didn't just take the slaves,
Yeah.
like their own people sold them
Yeah.
to America.
yeah.
I don't know if that's been proven or if it's actually a thing.
No, it's actually true.
Yeah.
Yeah, the black people, they knew who they were.
So they're just
Yeah,
like, yeah,
that's-
these are like the strongest, they're like,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
want your strongest and biggest.
Yeah.
And they chucked them all on a boat and then, yeah, that was the theory. But unfortunately, yeah, so from back in the days, it was like obviously a lot of corruption and stuff like that.
The last time we spoke about it, we got shadow banned.
Yeah, we've been shadow banned like 3 times now.
Ah, okay, cool.
I explained,
Mate,
I explained the whole story of
Oh,
the...
yeah, okay, cool. You
Before we
cut
went
that
into
part
it.
out. But yeah, anyway.
no,
Yeah, of course. No,
did,
but
we
like yeah, so like obviously a Western intervention.
Yeah.
And obviously sometimes it's people from within with Western intervention that are like being bankrolled by him, bro.
100%, bro. It's
know,
just
you-
crazy.
everything that... I can't even say that. I'm not going to... we'll get really banned. We won't get shadow banned, we'll get fully
Yeah,
banned.
no, but look
I'll
at
tell
it
you
like
after,
this. Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's just incredible,
Nah,
bro.
it's
when
crazy,
you,
man.
Look
Like,
at
they're
Gaddafi's life.
driving Land Cruisers that we don't even have in
Yeah.
Bankstown, you know?
I know.
Like, obviously they're being bankrolled, man.
Look into the life of Gaddafi and everything makes sense. Everything
Yeah,
makes sense.
I've watched a few TikTok.
Yeah. It's incredible, bro.
Hey, Ibi, Ibi, Teddy, what's the best piece of advice you've ever received?
The best piece of advice, are we talking life or are we talking content?
Life first and then content.
Life. So the best piece of advice that I've received with life is probably the same as content, to be honest, and it's just keep going. You know, have a crack. You know, you've only got yourself to prove, right? You know, you don't have to sit there and prove anyone wrong at the end
That's
of the day.
good advice, bro.
Yeah,
Very
bro.
good
They're like
advice.
people's opinion is so fluid, man. One day they love you, one day they hate you,
Hard.
and you know, and at the end of the day, as long as you sort of done what you know filled your cup up,
Yeah.
and you're happy with, you just keep going, man. And it's probably an advice because I know, like, especially like with you on the podcast, I know there's a lot of younger boys that are gonna watch this and probably like try and track some value out of it. And for anyone younger, man, just honestly, if there's something you want to do, especially if it's creative, go out and do it, man. Like we live at a time where opportunities are endless. Like there's never been an easier time to make money legally.
Facts.
Bro, 100%.
Bro, like people look up to people that had no choice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't look at them, man. Look at the younger boys, man. They're like, you go on Instagram, don't look at these like kids that are like making millions. But there are people out there, man, selling Pokemon cards and making a living.
Yeah.
There are people, you know, flipping stuff on Facebook
Yeah.
Marketplace, making a living. People like me making a video, you know, making videos and making a living. And you know, don't look at me and be like, oh man, the market's saturated. Look at me and be like, wow, if he can do it, I should be able to do it too. You know what I mean? And bro, there's enough room for anyone. At the end of the day, the best way to look at it, my videos go for 60 to 90 seconds. How many hours do you scroll on your phone a day?
Easy 3, 4.
3, 4?
Too many. I have no idea.
We'll say 4, 5.
Yeah.
All day, bro.
I'm asking for 60 to 90 seconds of your day.
Yeah.
Why can't someone else come in and make videos and ask for 60 to 90 seconds of your day? That's when people say the market's saturated.
Yeah.
That's very
You know what I
interesting.
mean?
you
There's,
brought
there's
that,
no
bro.
such thing, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
No,
you know,
yeah,
have a
it's-
crack. And, bro, there's never been an easier time to make money legally. Don't listen to anyone. Keep going. And you know what? And if you're currently having a crack and things just haven't like worked out for you, really sit down and have a proper talk to yourself and be like, what am I doing right? What am I doing wrong?
The same day that I accepted my first piece of criticism and advice was the same day I got my first paying client. SubhanAllah. I don't know how. That's the first, because all it was, no, you know what we're talking about. I know how to use this camera. I know what I'm doing. Blah, blah. The first day that I listened to a criticism and advice is the first day I got my first paying client. All it is look within yourself to find the issue. See what's not working, learn how to pivot, learn when to switch lanes, learn when to, you know what I mean? That's all it is.
And sometimes God tests you in a way of to say like, this guy really think he's about that way.
Yeah.
Let me send him this and see how he handles
curveballs,
it.
Knock him
Yeah,
down a
let me
notch.
see
It's
how he
always
handles
the case,
it. And then if you handle it right, God will send his blessings down.
Yeah.
You handle it wrong, nah, this bloke isn't ready,
Needs
man.
to learn more first.
Let him suffer a bit more.
Yeah.
And you know, like that's obviously like a very spiritual way to look at it, but that's the only way I found peace in terms of like my situ and looking at stuff like that. Everything's a test, and things happen for you, not to you.
Ooh, that's another bar. 3 for 3 is on a hat trick.
He's got bars all night.
Take
Yeah,
jumping
bro.
bars all night, lad.
Philosophy.
What's
And you can't change my mind.
Health and wealth philosophy. It's the greatest philosophy. And you can't change my mind. I'll redo that at the end.
Teddy, if there was one thing you could tell your younger self, what would it be?
If I could tell my younger self, man, don't listen to people, man. Honestly, people will just tell you things because that's their perspective of like life.
Yeah.
Don't listen to people younger than you. Don't listen to people older than you. Don't listen to anyone around you. If your gut instinct, or if you're gonna ask someone, ask the person you look up to or the person that is in your position or is almost at your position, and be like, all right, cool. This is the one person I'm gonna ask for advice. It's the same thing in boxing, same thing in gym, same thing in videography. If you ask 10 different people, you're gonna get 10 different advice to get you to the same place. If you just stick to the one coach and just listen to what he says, the one mentor and listen to what he says, you're gonna get there. Yes, it might be like, like a different way to what other people are saying, but you just listen to one person, because at the end of the day, man, some people don't want advice. Some people just want attention. Yeah, like, so stop seeking attention. Don't ask for permission. I think that's another thing I'd tell my younger self. Don't ask anyone for permission. Don't like, oh, should I upload vlogs? Would you guys like a podcast? No, bro, upload. Just upload, bro. If you want to do something, just upload it, bro. There's no gatekeepers anymore, bro.
Bro.
The only gatekeeper is you and your phone.
Teddy, I always
and
tell
your
my
laptop.
brother that, bro, because he always procrastinates.
Analysis paralysis.
But the worst, because I'm a perfectionist. Whenever I'll do something, bro, because my expertise is fitness, bro, and I'm meticulous with everything, bro. So I'll wake up at a certain time. I'm set to routine, bro, and I know because that's how I tackle my day. Like it gives me confidence to do the day. So say I'll get up and I'll read my book, have my breakfast, do all the little things that get my mental ready for the day, and then I'm confident to do the day. It gives me that confidence just doing the little minor things. But when I got control of that over that, but then when I'm doing media, doing what we're doing with my brother, there's no control, bro. You know what I mean? You sort of just got to go off the cuff sometimes and just put it out and sort of not overthink.
Yeah, I think you just got to submit to the fact that you have no control over it. Yeah, and once you submit, then you can sort of like hands-free and be like, all right, cool. You know what? I've got no control over this, and that's okay.
Yeah.
And the moment you have that thought, you'll feel super empowered to just post content and just realize that, you know what? That content could be the reason why you go from 10 clients to 20 clients, or from charging $50 to $100.
Yeah. That was one of my biggest things doing working with my brother. Like doing media, he's like, bro, like, come on, man, like, if you open up, bro, it'll be good for you, like doing podcasts. Because all I do, out of me and my brothers, I'm the sort of like the nerdy one, because I love reading, bro, and I love learning. I gotta yearn for like learning new things and doing all that type of stuff.
What's your favorite book?
My favorite book?
If you had to recommend a book.
Driven by Eternity. It's a guy, he's a preacher, he's a Christian bloke, and he just talks about time, not wasting time, because I procrastinate a lot. That's what I meant.
Teddy's got the biggest mindfuck books, bro. I don't even ask him, bro. I'll go Laws of Human Nature,
everything.
Art of Seduction. I'm like,
come
what the fuck
room,
are you trying to seduce, brother?
The 50th law.
The mental
bro.
gymnastics he
Yeah,
plays, bro.
Yeah,
Just in
of
life
course.
in general.
Atomic
But
habits.
but I think I've paid myself into the wrong pocket there by doing that, because then, when you know what they say, like knowledge, bro, like wisdom, sometimes that can be a detriment, you know what I mean? Like knowing too much about a situation.
Ignorance is bliss.
You know that saying, like you're too stupid to be afraid sometimes, and it's you know what I mean? They can help you in certain situations. Now that I'm like got so much knowledge about certain things, bro, sometimes I'm sort of overthinking it. And I feel like I'll block my blessings a lot.
Yeah. So sometimes, like I said, man, especially with media, it's like analysis paralysis.
Yeah.
Don't overthink it, man.
Yeah.
Just post it. It's easy for me to say.
Yeah.
To see it, say, yeah, man, just post it.
Yeah.
Just do this, just do that. But that's the reality, man. You know,
It's the game, bro.
yeah, sometimes, yeah, it is the game.
Yeah.
You know, you got to look at it like a video game, really.
Yeah.
You know, that's the
I'm
only
starting to
way
understand that too, bro.
you
Yeah.
can build
Because
up.
I
said it to him
always
earlier.
tell him not to worry about it. I go, just fucking upload, like, record what you got to record, and just post them, bro. People gonna have, like, they're gonna say what they're gonna say. You know.
And you know why as well, Teddy? Because I grew up because I'm in my 30s now, bro, and we didn't have socials. So me and my brother, we grew up in the time of before social media hit, and then now transitioning into it. And back then, bro, like, if you said something, you had to like stick behind your word, and you'd be like held accountable for it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was a totally different lifestyle. And then now it's like social media. It's like, fuck, you got to be like out of your skin, and it was more comfortable back then.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? Then now it's like, fuck.
You remember back when Facebook was just starting? I think it started like around. It was starting to become big around 2012, 2011, 12, around that time.
Yeah. 2012.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it around then? It's
2011, yeah, no, 2011, you're actually right.
2011, yeah. Because I wasn't really active on Instagram until like maybe 16 or 17, like 2016.
So you had no choice, huh?
Yeah, hard.
But then now everything's now like you grow a business, you go online. You want to, you know what I mean? Publicize something, you go online.
Well, look at it like this, man. If you've got a business and you're not on social media, your business is as good as dead.
Yeah.
Someone tells you, let's go eat somewhere, the first thing you do is search it up on Instagram.
Yeah.
You don't
Attention
even,
is the
you
new
don't
currency,
even,
bro.
yeah, exactly, man. Attention is the new currency, and I tell everyone, if you've got your staff, they're sitting around doing nothing, they can make a video and that could reach 1,000 people, and out of that 1,000 people, 10 people could be your customers, and that could be the 10 customers that pay your payroll and pay you.
Yeah.
So true.
Hard.
Social media is literally the main form of advertising these days.
Definitely, and
It
it's
is,
free.
bro.
Insane, yeah.
It's free. It's completely free.
I was telling him before we press record, there's an analogy I like, the lottery one. So imagine you're sitting at a lottery machine and you can slap as many times as you want for free, right? And you've got a chance of winning the jackpot, billions. How many times would you slap it? You just sit there, slap it all day, all day, all day. Exactly, yeah, you'd think about it. You fucking demolish it. Yeah? That's what posting content is.
Yeah, but spit on that shit.
That's what posting content is. Every time you do it, it costs you nothing. It's free. And every time you do it, you get closer and closer to that jackpot. One day it's going to hit.
Yeah, hard.
And when it
And
does,
the best thing, and honestly, the best thing you can do is post a video and it not blow up. And I'll tell you why. Because sometimes the drip feed is always the best feeling because people find you. And if your first video blows up, they're going to be like, oh, it's his first video. There's nothing else to really say about him. Why should I follow him?
Yeah.
But if you got like 10 videos up, they're going to be like, oh, but this guy consistently posts. I swear I'll follow him. Oh, this guy's got photos. Sweet. Consistently posts. I'll follow him.
Yeah.
that's true.
Or you can just talk about negative shit and just blow all the time.
That's
formula.
That's plan B. That's plan B. Yeah.
Just go straight terrorist.
Of course.
What's one thing you haven't done yet that you're like sort of a really big goal of yours that seems unobtainable, but you like it's coming up?
Man, like obviously 1 million on each platform.
Yeah.
That's sort of like obviously the big aim. Like 500K is around the corner. I can fucking
know you
smell it,
smell the
man.
roses,
I can
brother.
smell it.
That's been
Smell the
about,
roses.
like how long now? Three to 4 years? Took you to build that?
3 years, yeah.
3 years.
Exactly 3 years. 2 years full time, 1 year whilst working. So 500K.
Well, a flex.
That's impressive.
2 years full time, just like that. Like, just 2 years.
No,
like,
no,
two-
no.
Just a few
no.
fingers, brother.
Honestly, I say it because I want someone to watch this and be like, if he's able to do it,
Yeah.
I'm able to do it too, yeah? But 2 years, yeah?
Yeah. I was thinking, my nigga.
But yeah, no. So yeah, like 500K, so like a million on each platform would be phenomenal.
Yeah.
I do see streaming coming up.
It really is.
But how do we go about it, right? And that's why I say like moving to Sydney, and for example, like let's say you and I link up 1 week, all we do stream. Every night we just stream, we have a laugh with people. How does that look like, you know? Like do you have to get a place like this and sort of like lock in there and just like, you know what? Every night we meet here, 6 p.m, midnight, me and Big Cash are in front of the screen. We're laughing at videos, watching the NRL, watching the AFL, having a laugh with people, inviting people over, having a special guest come over.
Very big in America, eh?
It's huge in America, but it hasn't caught on here yet. So that's something I would love to do.
Yeah.
How do I go about it? I don't know. That and YouTube long form. Same thing. It's like just one of those things where a lot of people, like one of the boys asked me today, is like, have you thought about like getting back into fitness content? And I'm like, yes and no. Because it's like one of those things like maybe if I sort of set some time away, like I'm gonna come, I'm gonna train, like I'm gonna live with you, train with you, like that's the series. And you know, like what? That's at least like eight, 9 videos there. We can just post it, and that could be like from 80 kilos fat to 70 kilos absolutely shredded, right? So there's those things that play in mind, and then obviously the goal, if I do well in stand-up comedy, probably a Netflix special, man, would be awesome, man.
Ah, that would be crazy,
awesome,
bro.
man. You know,
See
that's
that too, bro.
yeah, that, like
God
that's
willing, huh?
yeah, of course, man. It's bubbling, it's around the corner, and if it's not Netflix, it's Amazon Prime. If it's not Prime, it's Stan. If it's not Stan, it's like I'm not one of those people like, oh, it's got to be Netflix, it's got to be this. I don't care.
Just grateful, eh?
Yeah, just go through it, grow through it, and then
comes,
look back on this podcast episode and be like, see, I told the boys.
Yeah,
100%.
He called it.
And then you boys will turn around and be like, bro, he told us when he was in the studio.
We'll have you on in a year and we'll see where you're at then.
Yeah, 100%, man.
That'd be crazy.
Man, that'd be
mad.
cracker. But yeah, so
But
those are the 3.
He'll be Hollywood. He'll be too
Yeah,
good to us,
yeah,
brother.
yeah.
What is this? Help me, bro. Brother, get back, brother.
What's it called? I'll be coming here with a charcoal chicken begging you guys to. I'm like, please, boys, take me in, man. I want food. No, never, man.
I got a trolley.
Yeah, exactly, man. You guys got coins, man?
What's next for you? What's next for you, Teddy? What's coming up? Shows?
Man, I'm coming for it all, man.
Yeah?
Honestly, man, it's the healthiest I've felt mentally. The past, what are we in? We're in May. Past 4 months. Yeah, we're in May.
No idea, bro.
Man, we're halfway through May, yeah?
Yeah.
We actually made
15th, yeah?
That's wild.
Yeah, man. So
I'm
we've
in
recorded this episode on the 15th of May, man. I'm the healthiest I've felt mentally.
Yeah.
You know, like obviously a lot more clarity after going Saudi. That really like cleared up a lot as well for me. Like when you take yourself out of an environment that you're in every day and you don't know yourself until you're in an environment where there's no one influencing your thoughts and decisions.
Yeah.
So I was in Saudi in a place where no one knew who I was.
Is that how like, life-changing it was for you?
Yeah, I mean, like, people are like, oh, how's your holiday? I'm like, bro, this is like my brain chemistry is altered after Saudi.
It's my canon event.
Yeah, exactly, man. Like, bro, like, you know, like a MIB? Yeah, hard. I came back, chemistry completely altered. So I came back and I'm just like, now, people are like, bro, I see you going hard. I'm like, yeah, I am going hard, man.
Yeah.
Because, you know, like I'm coming for everyone's neck, man.
Sounds like
Essentially,
the trip put a lot of things in perspective for you, bro.
No one knows who I am except the boys that I'm with. And bro, all we're doing is praying, fasting, eating, praying. Praying, eating, fasting, praying. That's all you're doing.
Yeah.
When you're on times like that, and bro, there's the night prayer, so tarawih. So after you finish fasting, usually here it goes for about an hour, we'll say.
Yeah.
In Saudi, it goes for 2 hours.
Wow.
Bro, when you're prostrating on the ground, here they do it like 10 to 30 seconds. Over that's for 2 minutes. So you've got your forehead on the ground prostrating, praying. You run out of things to ask God for. So you just start reflecting on your life.
Yeah.
And in moments like that, it's like I really reflected and I'm like, who am I?
Yeah.
Who am I? You know, like people say like, oh yeah, pray, you know, pray and ask for. But it came to a point like I started being thankful for stuff. And then I started reminding myself like, bro, what am I? Who am I? You know, what do I do? What does the future look like for me? And in moments like that, it made me realize like, all right, man, I'm made to make videos.
Yeah.
And I'm made to be the guy. And I'm made to sort of like do big things and everything. And, you know, like, so I'm like, you know what, I'm coming back and I'm standing on business, man. And honestly, this year, man, I'm just standing on business, going all over thing. And then I'm hoping to do a tour. October, November is the talk right now. But anything can happen, man. I've seen things like come and go, like I've had it and it just slips out of my hand. And then I've seen things where like everything has come out once and I'm just like, oh my God, like where's this come from?
Yeah.
So, you know, if you ask me in February where am I going with videos, I'm like, wow, I might have to start working part-time soon. And then like now I'm here, I'm like, oh no, everything's all good, it's looking up. But that you realize that's just the nature of business,
Ups and
nature of
downs.
business, ups and downs, and you know what, one makes you appreciate the other.
Yeah.
So, so next, man, definitely a tour and just standing on business and just making content, having fun, doing stuff like this, man. I really, really enjoy, you know, like jumping on podcasts and it's like my first podcast in a very long time.
Yeah,
so,
Really.
yeah, so it was good, man. It's always good to kick back with the boys. Like I said, man, we message,
Yeah.
but when you speak in person, it's a whole different dynamic and everything. Obviously, meeting you boys as well.
Yeah.
You know, like it's been nothing short of a pleasure. And I think, like, bro, the experience for me has been 10 out of 10, you know?
Appreciate you.
Health and wealth is on the
Health and
come up,
wealth.
and you can't change my mind.
Can't change my mind, brother.
Can't stop the hustle, man.
Yeah,
Can't knock the hustle.
Hey.
It's coming.
Yeah,
But
tell
yeah,
me-
man, like, look, honestly, like, before you go on, all I'm going to say is, man, you boys have a good thing going on. The only thing that's stopping you is you.
Yeah.
As long as you boys consistently rock up,
Bars,
make episodes,
Yeah.
and don't be hesitant to invite, like, bro, like someone might see my episode and be like, "Ah, man, Teddy was on it. Maybe I should jump on it too."
Yeah.
Feel free to use my name as well. Yeah, we got this on video. Oh, man, we got Teddy. We're gonna get you on as well, because you know.
Yeah,
like you
Ibi.
mentioned, Ibi, man, lay off the
Ibi,
Afghan food and
Boy,
come
don't
up,
worry.
man. Boy, don't worry. Jump
Yalla,
up.
man.
Yeah. So,
Hey, Teddy, it was a
yeah.
pleasure having you on, man. I really appreciate you reaching out and coming on, man. It means a lot to me and the boys.
Beautiful,
Yeah,
man.
very
So,
grateful.
Red Mazda outside.
Yeah.
Stash of cash. Just put in there.
Easy done, brother. How many kicks? I'm joking. New South Police.
That's it. Yeah. No, man.
Miyok, yeah.
No, I'm literally working for a quarter of chicken and chips, a mug of coconut water,
And a pop top.
and a pop top, boys.
But he's
Thank
wearing
you.
Asics. He's ready to go.
Yeah, always ready to
From the
go.
area.
No, but we're very, very, very thankful that you stopped by, man, and yeah, just appreciate you reaching out to us.
It's a pleasure, bro.
No,
Pleasure.
man, the
It's an
pleasure's all mine, and like I said, I'm in Sydney, and this is the only thing I'm doing. So, you know, the pleasure's all mine.
Yeah, it'd be good,
Thank
bro.
you.
Make sure you stop by in a year or something, bro.
Definitely, man. Well,
You'll
maybe
probably be
in
living
6
here in a
months.
year.
Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe I'll make the move here.
Maybe
next
it's
thing
down
you
the
know.
road
Wow,
from the
100.
boys.
We'll see you every week.
I'll be the fourth co-host.
Yeah, 100%, brother. Hey, Dennis, so-
That'd be hectic.
That's it, man.
Hey, everyone, you already know what to do. Hit the link, subscribe, comment. We'll be dropping content every 2 weeks. You already know what to do.
Hey, also we're dropping merch as well. So this is like, wow,
Oh, nice.
I sat here under the aircon freezing my tits off. Hey, but this is Health and Wealth, 88 on the front and the symbol on the back. We'll be dropping an exclusive, like 50?
Yeah.
Yeah, so hit the DMs on the Health and Wealth page or just message any of us directly for some merch, bro. So yeah, slowly we'll be dropping like jumpers and singlets and shit like that. Like
Health
Yeah.
and wealth is not just a podcast; it's a lifestyle.
badly.
My man.
And you can't change my mind, but
Yeah.
thanks, Teddy, bro.
All good.